Hello, hello, happy Friday. Welcome to our, did this go? Are we live? Can you see me? Okay, no it is. Okay. Hello and welcome. I hope that you had a lovely week. We are here. We do this every single Friday where we get together, we blend our energies, and we ask a juicy question of the universe. And today we are asking, who is your soulmate that is coming in? So I do mean for this to be a romantic reading, but of course take this however it resonates. Hello, hello. So just let me know if everything's okay, if you guys can see and hear me. This is the last, I think this is going to be the last Friday that I've kind of been doing everything on my own here. But, oh, happy birthday. Okay, so let us go ahead and get right into this. We have our three piles as usual. We do have our anchor card. So the anchor card is the mentor. This is not one of our choices. If you are new around here, the anchor card is, sometimes an anchor card naturally pops out, sometimes it doesn't. But it is a common energy that goes into all of the piles, but I feel like we read the cards together. So I like for you to get a good look at the anchor card and the main card for your pile. So that's the anchor card. And then we've got our three selections here. We've got pile number 1, which is the underworld, pile number 2, which is the mountain, and pile number 3, which is the heart. So I'll go ahead and leave that up here for a second. I can see and hear you. Good. Oh. All right. So we'll leave this up here for a second. And this is the part where we like to just take a big deep breath and allow our energies to settle so we can be drawn into our proper pile and connect from that deep, calm space from within. So if you haven't already chosen your pile, and even if you have, let's go ahead and do that. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and be drawn into whatever pile or multiple piles you are drawn in. Maybe you've got more than one soulmate coming in to choose from. Also keep in mind that if you are drawn into more than one pile, sometimes that can be, we're reading for a lot of people here. And so it might be a blend of the two piles in some way. Heather, thank you so much for the super chat. So it might be a blend of the piles. So always use your own intuition. If that's happening to you a lot, I truly do believe that we are all intuitive. And if you're drawn into tarot readings and stuff, Spirit is probably trying to communicate with you through your intuition and is wanting you to pay more attention to your intuition and understanding how it works, like your specific intuition, and how Spirit is trying to connect with you and give you messages. So if you start noticing that piles are overlapping or things, Spirit might be trying to have a deeper kind of communion or communication with you. That's just something to keep in mind. I'm always drawn to all three piles plus the extra message. Nice. Okay, it's actually really hot in here. I'm going to run and turn the air down just a tad. So give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry. I might regret that, but I was burning up over here. So let's just get a little drink, a little sippage. And I'll put this up just for another second in case anybody needs a little bit more time with the cards, so you can pause it here. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's move into pile number 1, which is the underworld. For some reason, I just want to compassion this right off the bat. Let's have a little compassion for pile number 1. I'm joking. Pile number 1, everybody was just like, oh no. I'm kidding. Okay, let's see here. So for spirit, for pile number 1, spirit, who is the soulmate coming in here for pile number 1? Who is the soulmate coming in here for pile number 1? I get the sense that this person it's funny because I almost wanted to say that they're a bit shy, but I don't think that they actually are. I feel like this person has kind of been through stuff, and so they like to kind of sit back and observe. You might think that this person is quiet at first, but I don't think they actually are. I think that they're just kind of like sitting back and observing. I think, it's kind of the normal things like seeing, maybe because they know that they like you is kind of what I'm getting when this soulmate is coming in. I feel like they're instantly attracted to you, but it's not weird or anything like that. It's, they're kind of just sitting back to watch whether or not you're single and kind of whether or not you like vibes. I'm hearing vibes, whether or not you maybe seem to be interested in somebody else. Like, I think this person's just trying to get the lay of the land, which tells me that maybe this person is going to be new in your environment, but you're not. I feel like you're kind of like established there in some way, because I'm seeing you kind of moving around, talking to people, or like, like where it is that you're going. But this person is watching you. It could, for some of you, be flipped if you know that you're going to be in a new environment. But I feel like if it's flipped, for some reason, I want to say like you're not interested in this person, and you might not even be single. And you, I'm not really. If that's the case, I'm kind of not getting a good vibe off of this person. But I don't really think that it's going to go anywhere. And I think that this person's mostly private about the way that they feel about you. But take this however it resonates, because I am reading for a lot of people, and that's just kind of the way that the energies are coming in. So, okay, I feel like this person likes your face shape. That's just such a specific message. I don't know what face shape you have. It could be oval. It could be round. It could be a heart shape. It could be a diamond. Whatever the face shapes are, like, but they really like your face shape. And I think they feel that you're really smart and, or like you're really like observant. I'm getting like with this owl energy. Also, yeah, like mentor. So maybe you're a mentor, or this person is maybe observing you, like speak with people and like, answer people's questions. Like if this is a work environment and you're all like kind of gathered around the copy machine and somebody is like banging on it and they're like, why won't this thing work? But you're like, oh, like all you have to do is press this or that, I feel like they're watching you kind of guide people or something in a way, and they really like it, but they feel like you're really smart. You're really intelligent. This person likes the way that you communicate, but they might feel like, it's not that you don't communicate. There's a way that you communicate that is like maybe elevated, or it's like, I don't know, something here like that. So tell me about this person who has a crush on you. Okay, so they definitely have a crush on you, but this is like a soulmate that's coming in. I keep coming back to, there is like a kind of a flip of this pile where I feel like for some of you, you have a soulmate, and there's this person that's trying to kind of like look around. It could be that this is another presence like on their side of things. No, I feel like there's somebody else in the environment actually that's kind of watching you. Okay, so there's like a soulmate that's coming in, but there's also somebody else that's around, and this person may have been around for a while, but I feel like this person, they just have like, I'm not getting that you're attracted to this person. I get that you're friendly to this person. This person might not really even speak to you all that much, but they still feel possessive over your energy. And this person is somehow watching maybe the two of you like interact, but I don't care about that person, and I don't want to know about this person. Tell me about the soulmate that's coming in here, Spirit. Tell me about the soulmate that is coming in. Who is this soulmate? Oh, we got the 3 of Wands. So they've definitely been manifesting you. I really like this person. I feel like there's something about them that kind of like stands out or is different than the other people that are around you. I just keep hearing like that's kind of what sticks out. Okay, there could be, it's either there's, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to kind of steer the message away, but I kind of have learned better than to do that. There's this person that's kind of observing, and it could be watching you, or they could be watching your soulmate. But they're observing this in this person too, that there's something different about this soulmate that's coming in from the people that are around, from the environment. They could be older, they could be younger. Most people that work there could be male, or they could be female, or I don't know, or like maybe, I don't know, there's something that stands out, but I feel like it's in a good way. And this person is coming through like really masculine, but again, they kind of have a healthy vibe with it. Like it's kind of like in their own way. They are trying to turn lead into gold. So that tells me that this person has maybe had like a crap experience, some type of like crap experience, but they're optimistic and they're smart. They're kind of with it, and they're going to turn that into fertilizer, basically. They to have like something really positive grow. So maybe this person's like an optimist, or they're really capable and they believe in their own capability. Let's see. What can you tell me about this soulmate that's coming in for pile number 1, Spirit? Like the Page of Wands. There's a lot of wands energy. I feel like competition sort of finds this person and they're not really asking for it. And maybe that's mirrored with you as well, because I keep seeing these like this eye. You see the eye in the background there? But I'm just seeing it sort of like move around like this. So it could be that there's evil eye on this person or you, or like this connection. And it might be coming from more than one source, because I am seeing it kind of like moving around. But there's this like wands energy, and the wand suit is all about like kind of overcoming, persevering, this like, this kind of competitive nature. But I feel like this person they're coming across as very Aries. This person might have Aries in their chart somewhere. But particularly, well, they might just have Aries in their chart somewhere, but I'm just getting like this person wants to be unique and they want to kind of stand out. And because of that, it's not that they want to, I think that they are, and they want to demonstrate their capability. They don't want anything that's not there. They're not trying to like front or anything, but they do want to be like seen for who it is that they are. Because of that, I feel like it draws in a lot of competition. This person might not understand that, because I'm really seeing where people's focus is in this reading. And your soulmate that's coming in, their focus is on something that they're doing and something that they're building, but somebody else's focus is on like them or you. And there's like quite a difference there. And that might be the difference that I'm picking up on. But I feel like that they've left something behind in the past. Like, could have been a job. It could have been a home. But it feels like they had to leave with like not much. So I feel like something ended for this person, but they left with not much. But that's okay, because this person kind of is the stuff. They're the magic beans. You know what I'm saying? Like they're the beanstalk that's going to grow. They must just be really competent and really with it. I just heard witty, like the term witty. Tell me more about this person. If it's not recent, I feel like it was in their childhood. There's something here to do with their childhood where I just heard Wide Open Spaces by the Chicks. Used to be the Dixie Chicks when they sang that song, in case you're looking for it. But it's like, who doesn't know what I'm talking about? Who's never left home? Who's never struck out to find a dream and a life of their own? A place in the clouds, a foundation of stone. So I feel like this person maybe left their home in the past. Maybe that's why this person maybe they're coming back, or maybe this person's like kind of left something here. They're trying to find a dream and a life of their own. And they need wide open spaces and room to make a big mistake. Okay, so not that they're going to, but I really like this person. So what else can you tell me about this person? Spirit, what can you tell me about this person? Look, oh my gosh, so we've got the Devil card here, and then we've got the Justice, and then we've got the Chariot. So why is this coming through? I feel like this person has a choice to make, or they did in the past. It's one of the two, but I feel like they actually have a choice to make. Something regarding like a devil energy, and something involving like this Justice energy. So it might be soulmate and a karmic, but I feel like this is more like, if it is, it's folded in with like a big life path, like kind of energy. Or maybe this is you. You might have a choice between a karmic and this soulmate here, because you and this soulmate might get in a fight. Like you might have some type of like, see those cats there fighting? Like you might have a cat fight or something here. And it's because I think you and this soulmate must be opposites in some type of way, or you have a different take on something. There's something here. Somebody's active in their shadow and somebody is illuminated in a certain place where you're going to have some type of fight or argument. And it could be that there's, what is this? This person might like, they might have like a moped or a motorcycle or something here like that. Or they like that. Or you do. Take that however it resonates. Tell me more about this person. Look, the Six of Cups. there is some kind of, oh my gosh. Okay, so this reading kind of is hard because I'm getting two different, because again, we've got the Justice and the Devil. So I do feel for some, for some reason they're showing me like a karmic energy, and this person like is a friend, or they're trying to kind of be somebody's friend. They're trying to put a chain of events into motion for some karmic energy to occur, maybe some schmegel energy, or they're trying to like kind of, raise their profile by being with either you or your person, because it feels like there's a lot of evil eye on this connection. But there's some type of justice energy where there's something here from the past and it needs to be seen differently, and it has to do with a friend, and it needs to be seen differently. So I don't know if this person, this soulmate that's coming in, okay, this is sort of coming together. You might piecemeal bits and pieces of this person's past, but there was a situation in their past and it involved some type of friend or friendly energy. Somebody definitely had feelings for this person, like as a friend. But there's also like temptation here in this space. And there's kind of like there's a sense of there just being momentum. So I don't know if this person like just kind of absentmindedly sleeps with friends or they did in the past. But they're so there's something here about the past, and they need to see it differently in order to like break with that momentum and to be able to make something right. Like this Justice, look, the High Priestess. They need to see some kind of secret clearly. What is this secret? What is this reading? Ace of Wands. Queen of Cups and the Fool. I feel that this person is attracted to you right away, but I feel like they're on some type of trajectory. This soulmate, okay, that's what this is. They're on some type of trajectory whenever you meet them. I think it has to do with their career. I think it has to do with building themselves. I think it has to do with their future. Like they're in some type of like future focused energy. Who's never left home? Who's never struck out to find a dream and a life of their own? So again, you could be meeting this person as they have moved away from home in some kind of way. And that's where their focus is, because this person is distinguishing themselves. And it's in that Aries energy, right? They're distinguishing themselves. And that's kind of what their focus is on. So they're attracted to you, but I think they feel like maybe that's just a repeat of something that they've done forever in the past, but this is actually different. And I feel like this person needs to recognize the difference here with the Ace of Wands. In regards of you, that you are different, that you are wish fulfillment here, and that you are their love. I feel like you genuinely are their love. And you might be going through some type of new beginning yourself, but I feel like you're more established wherever this person is, and you are maybe having a new beginning, but it's a new beginning that is much more grounded than this person. Like you're kind of putting roots down, you're much more comfortable, you're kind of laying a foundation for yourself, and maybe, and for some of you, you're getting away from like somebody, this weird person who's like lurking in the back, because I feel like you've turned over a new leaf or something, but it's because secrets have come out, or I feel like whatever this was, there was somebody in your past that you manifested accidentally. You manifested this person from a place of that plutonic energy, something that was like buried down, something that you really wanted, but then this person, maybe you really wanted like a passionate love, but this person is like possessive, and they feel like you're their property and stuff, but you've kind of realized that, and I feel like you've had to move away from this, and you want some type of like new beginning, and I feel like there could be a new beginning here with this person. Yeah, there's somebody here that's watching this. It feels like an ex, and it feels like it could be on your side. That's really upset that you are moving on with this person, or that there seems to be a chemistry. And it's funny because this person was like lurking in the background, but then I'm seeing them more and more, like as the reading goes on. But like when they're coming out in a hood or a cloak. So they're still making some attempts at hiding, which means I think that as this person watches more and more, or it could be more than one person for some of you, they're going to make themselves known more and more, but they're going to seem like neutral, or they're going to seem like, oh, I'm not having a problem. I'm just, okay, this is, that classic Selena Gomez, when I think it was Sophia Richie, it was one of the people that Justin Bieber was kind of like dating, and then she wrote that kind of thing underneath his post. It was like, your fans love you, and if you have a problem with it, like you shouldn't be like it should be between like the two of you only. And it's like, where did you come from? Like, it's gonna give that kind of energy where it's like, you thought that you had broken up with this ex, like you guys should be kind of moved on, but then all of a sudden they're just like sticking their nose in and like having like an opinion or something, but then they're trying to kind of play like it's neutral, but it's like really not neutral, and you can tell that they care and that they're like salty a bit. Like it's that kind of energy. And not for all of you is this person an ex. It's just somebody who is lurking in the shadows and feels possessive over you and over your energy here in some kind of way. Yeah, so this new soulmate. Okay, so now finally we can get into this. I just feel like there's some trepidation here. There's some danger here, like between you and this person kind of getting together. I don't know exactly why that is. I think it's because, again, with the Justice card, there is some balancing out to be done in yourself. It feels karmic. It feels like it has to do with past lives. But okay, so this person, okay, now we're actually getting into this person's energy. I really like this person. I feel like there's a lot of baggage that you and this person sort of have to get through. It's not necessarily even your baggage, because this soulmate, like I said, I feel like it's that wide open spaces energy. Who's never left home, who's never struck out to find a dream and a life of their own. If this person hasn't left home and like they're just kind of rolling into where you are, then they're very adventurous, or they have like an idea or a plan to do so. And they're coming through as this like Knight of Pentacles. So you're coming through, I like this energy because you're coming through in the Ace of Pentacles. You've had some type of new beginning for yourself where it's like you moved out and you moved on your own, kind of an energy, or you left a relationship that wasn't so good for you and you have this new beginning kind of adventure energy too. But like I said, it's more grounded. It's just you, it's stable. And so you're both in this like Pentacles energy and thinking about building, but I don't think either of you planned on meeting each other and you didn't plan on building with each other. And that's why it's going to kind of take a little bit of like redirect for the two of you to be able to see this, because you're focused on getting yourself like rooted, grounded, like in a good routine, kind of proving to yourself that this new beginning, like you got it, you can handle it. Well, this new soulmate is coming in. First of all, I like their body. I don't know why I want to say that. Because I'm not seeing them in my mind's eye or anything, but there's something about this person where I feel like they're well formed, like they must have like nice muscle tone or something here. They might have like a nice tan, like not over the top or anything, but they look like healthy is kind of what I'm getting, like a healthy sort of glow. They look like they eat well. They look like they take like good care of themselves. They look well dressed, but they don't look like over trimmed or anything. Like I think they have a nice way of kind of like keeping themselves, like they're good or they're hygienic, but also they're not putting too much of a focus on it, which tells me that this person has their own kind of like routine with this. They have like a kind of look that they're comfortable with. It's casual, or like they know it works for them. And so they kind of don't like, I don't know, they don't really like think about that, because this person's more thinking about, I think, their future, that with this Knight of Pentacles. See how he's kind of looking up over this pentacle. He's looking at like a future, but stable kind of future, and not actually looking at where he's stepping. So this is kind of where this like a bit trepidatious energy comes in, but overall I get a really good vibe from this person. I also feel like this person has a really colorful personality is what I want to say, because I'm getting sun energy. So I feel like there's something like very cheerful about this person. They have like a very pleasant demeanor. It's calm, but it's lively at the same time. Like it's grounded, but it's lively at the same time. And you might actually feel like this person is there, but like not quite there, because it is like this person has like a stepping stone. They're trying to like build momentum, but they are pleasant to be around. And there is something about this person that stands out. Like I feel like they're different. Somehow they're different. And it could be because they come from a different place. They come from a different culture. They speak a different language. But it's like there's something about the way this person speaks, it's like cultural stuff, but not necessarily culture to do with their nationality or something. It's just they're just different. And I feel like you'll know it when you see it. Like it's not a bad different. It's also not like a peacock kind of different. I just feel like it's different. It's just somewhat different. But they're pleasant to be around, and they are trying to build their career. I feel like it might be that they are not planning on being there for long, because I feel like for some of you, you're going to meet this person at work. Or maybe it's like at your friend's work or something, but they're not planning on being there for long. They're planning on, they need this to like build themselves to somewhere else. Yeah. So, this person is actually likes their own company. They like, being alone. I think this person is like a deep thinker. They might actually shock you, like with this. I feel like an intellectual energy coming through here with this person, but it feels more like a capability. They might actually shock you because they're nice to look at. I feel like this person's kind of nice to look at. They don't really see themselves that way. They don't not see themselves that way. This person doesn't have low self-esteem, but they're not thinking about themselves from the outside in any more than they need to, because like I said, this person like kind of is well put together. They look really nice. But they have this kind of, I think they're single, and I think they're independent, or if not, then I feel like maybe this person is an introvert, and because the reason I'm saying if not is because for some of you, I feel like maybe you're the karmic. And that's just for some. It's the smaller group here, but we have to be able to be honest with ourselves. Tarot, I think, should be a spiritual experience, and spirituality is nothing if you are not constantly bringing yourself back to your own self-awareness. We're not trying to bring about delusions here. And because I'm saying that, I think that's how this person feels. They don't believe in delusions. This person, you're both coming through in a Pentacles energy. It's like, let's not feed a fantasy. Like, and this person is very, I don't think they're planning on having like a soulmate or anything. They're not planning on meeting anybody. And it's not that you're not, because remember, you're in that Ace of Pentacles energy. It's not that you're not. I really think the timing is off. Like, you weren't thinking about meeting somebody, and you're certainly not thinking about meeting somebody with like Pentacles energy whenever this person shows up. Oh, wait. Oh, thank you guys for the super chats. I didn't even see this. Talpa, thank you so much for the super chat. And I'm not even going to try to say that, but thank you so much for the super chat. Good to see you as well. So, yeah, I'm just getting that they aren't expecting you. But I think that you both kind of like being around each other accidentally. Like, I feel like just accidentally you guys both just like being around each other. This is like a really good vibe. This is definitely, I think, going to be acquaintances. It's like acquaintances to lovers or like friends to lovers. But I think this definitely could be a long-term situation, but you both are not expecting it. And it feels like you sort of renegotiate every step along the way, where it's like, oh, okay, like, this person's going to go get another job somewhere else. And you're like, okay. And they're like, well, I don't want to stop seeing you. Like, do you want to go see a movie on Friday? And you'd be like, oh, okay. Like, it's going to be like that kind of renegotiating where you just choose to stay in each other's lives because you really like being around one another. And I feel like this is also the kind of thing where nobody else compares. Like, really nobody else compares to the two of you, the conversations that you have, the bonds that you have. And also, I think you're both on the same page in regards of like career and like what you see for your future. And this might take a while to even come out because I feel like you are enjoying your personalities. Both of you are just enjoying your personalities. I feel like there's quite a bit of socialization between the two of you, but it feels like that's just the stage of life that you're both in, where it's like, hey, I'm getting stable. And this person, I don't even feel like you guys talk about this kind of stuff. I just feel like that you're both just in the same energy. And I feel like there's like a lot of socialization, but I don't feel like the two of you are like necessarily, you like hanging out with each other. I don't feel like you're attached at the hip. I feel like you go home together at the end of the night. You like that too, but it's like, it feels like no pressure. And it feels like actually both of you are kind of fighting this a little bit where you're like, okay, I do like this person, but I'm not trying to like this person. And I'm also not trying to burden my own life with trying to have, I also just heard like, how am I going to explain this to my mom? Like somebody here is like, I don't know how to explain this to my mom. Like, or, but it doesn't feel like it has to do with the person. It feels like it has to do with, I thought you were supposed to be focusing on this. I thought you moved away to go to college. Like now you got a boyfriend, or like now you got a girlfriend or, like this, I thought you were going to focus on this or I thought you were going to focus on that, like, so yeah, it feels kind of like that, but it just feels so natural. And it feels like you guys are maybe like, okay, maybe I'm about ready to call time on this, but then you're not. And like, but it's fused together of such genuine enjoyment of each other's company. And I think, you both you're more solid together than you are apart, and you both actually really do like and appreciate that. Neither one of you is using the other person. It's just, and you really like being in each other's space. I feel like the two of you are people who live together really well, or, there's some people when you have them around you all the time and they're in your space, it's hard, because the personalities are not lining up and they don't clean up this, or they don't flush the toilet, or the toilet seats up, or this or that, it's like this. I feel like there's just a natural rapport here between the two of you. I feel like there's a gold mine in this relationship. And I don't know what I mean by that. Like, it just feels like, at least in terms of stability, I'm not sure that you're going to get like super rich or anything, but it definitely feels comfortable. It feels like, well off. And, but it's almost like you have all of the quiet things that people don't think about when they think about their partner and like the person that they want. You have just an insane amount of compatibility, and really you have such fertile soil between the two of you is what I want to say. It's so nutrient dense, but people think about all the orchids that they want to plant and all of they want this kind of tree and that kind of tree. Well, to be able to sustain healthy growing, like a beautiful garden, you have to have healthy soil. And like nobody ever is sitting around going, I want really healthy soil. Like, I just want really healthy soil between me. Like, most people are not thinking that. They're like, I want a this and I want a that when it comes to their partner. You guys have really, really healthy soil between the two of you, and you can honestly grow whatever the fuck you want. You really can. And but this is also the kind of thing where as you're building it, people might not even realize like all those things that they want. That's what's growing over there. They're not used to seeing things in the growing phase. We're used to seeing them a snapshot in the magazine after all the work's been done. And so I do think that I think people kind of, I don't know, it actually seems like both of you are very attractive, and there is quite a bit of evil eye on this connection and people wanting to build there. But I feel like there is going to be something that's covetous, like kind of between the two of you. As you build, like people are going to be like, that's the thing that I wanted. But I actually feel like it's the magic between the two of you. It's the alchemy between the two of you that makes this, like you wouldn't have good soil with a person who's lurking around here with this like weird ex that you accidentally manifested, like you don't have good soil. And you know that if this person's an ex, you know that it's like kind of weird or wacky, and I feel like there is a contrast here. And maybe for some of you, there seems to be like this kind of choice because you're going to be doing well. I feel like for you will actually be doing well. And I feel like there's actually going to be a choice of like going back to some type of ex that you accidentally manifested for all the wrong reasons. Maybe your ex is the orchid. So pretty, so exotic, whatever. The ex is the orchid. But this new relationship is this kind of like justice energy, and it's about like balancing certain things out potentially here for yourself. So what else can you tell me about this person? What else can you tell me about this person? Yeah, I feel like there's such a good energy. I feel like this is hangout energy. Like, I really think that this is I feel like for a lot of you, this could lead to marriage. But you're going to think that you're going to be like alone or something. You're going to be like totally happy and content on your own. And so is this person. And then it's going to lead to marriage. Okay, I also feel like this person's really attractive. But I feel like it's in some type of like, if it's a man, he might also be very nurturing. But you might not realize that. He's very, very stable, but I feel like he is that rock. Like when things go wrong, he is able to be that rock, but I feel like he also knows certain things. He's a nurturer. I actually feel like this guy is like pretty nurturing. But he might come off not that way, or you just wouldn't know. But I think actually is like very nurturing. And I think for a man and a woman here, it's like they're attractive, but they have their own kind of brand of attractiveness. They aren't kind of whatever is in vogue at the time when you meet them. I'm saying that too because we're on this weird like hinge period. Maybe somebody here's like on a hinge period, but and maybe for some this, I don't know, because why I'm saying that is like it used to be body positivity and everything like that, and now we're kind of moving back into that like heroin chic look from the 90s and the early 2000s. And it's also crazy. Let me just say, like, being on the internet has been wild. Like, as a millennial, I don't know if you guys feel this way too, but it's so clear that the younger generations, this is all theoretical to them. Like, they are like, I don't know what, like, you guys need to get off celebrities' backs and stuff. They didn't have people like their friends in third grade dieting, and like, they don't know. They have no idea. It's so weird. It's so weird to hear it spoken about from such like because we all lived it, and there for a while everybody sort of knew. Because it wasn't just the younger generations that were coming up, and it was like all the older women were susceptible to it too. So everybody knew, everybody felt very viscerally and saw that. And now it's so weird to have people that don't know that from like a visceral experience. Because I don't know, I just thought that we all had like, it was never gonna like happen again. But anyways. But yeah, I feel like this person, they have their own kind of brand of attractiveness, and it could be somewhat different than what you were going after in the past. So maybe some of you were going after like whatever was in vogue or something. Maybe you meant to, maybe you didn't. But you could have been like kind of dating somebody that, was, I don't know. But I feel like this person's going to be your type, and it's going to show you like what you actually kind of like in a person and what you're actually kind of attracted to, not like irregardless. Which is actually a word now. But yeah, regardless of what society is kind of saying, but this person is like very attractive. And not just you think that. Other people think that too, but it's very much tied in with like it's either really tied in with their personality, but I think for some of you, there's something about this person's personality that would shock you because of the way that they look, in a good way, like in a positive way, in a way that kind of adds depth and flavor and layers to their like level of attractiveness. I really like this person. I think this is a really cool person. But they've definitely been through something in the past, and it's lurking, whatever it is. I do feel that there's somebody here, and I think for some of you, it might even be a man that's like watching your person. I mean, I guess maybe for some of you, if they date men, then this could be an ex, but I'm kind of wondering if it's like a competitor of some kind, or there's somebody that has it like, who is this person that's like watching them? Oh, maybe they're watching you. Who is this that's like watching? Because I'm seeing, It's somebody that thought they won over your person. They thought that they won. They thought that they got something here, like over your person. This person that's like kind of coming in. And then they're seeing this person like move on. But this person, okay, so there's somebody here. Now this person does not live in the same place that your person lives. So it's either like that person is new. I feel like maybe there's a mirror energy here. It's either that person's new to where you are and that person's from back where they were. Or if this is the person that is rooted, then I feel like maybe that person moved away. But there's somebody here. I'm hearing like competitor. This person thought that they won. And what I'm getting is like there's some type of situation that they're in that I think they feel that they have more money than your person, or that they had gotten some type of like position. This might have been in work or career, but I think there is something here to do with like a relationship or like a family or something. Now, it doesn't have to be like a romantic relationship. They won out in some type of, it could be that. And for some of you it is, but it also could, maybe it is a member of your person's family, but they feel like they won, and it has to do with like some type of home environment that brings like wealth and abundance. And there is people in that home environment. There's a person, or there's like a family, or there's like something here. And because whoever this is that's watching your person is attached to those people, they feel like they won out over your person, or they feel like they're better. But then they see this person move on with you. And this is like the Two of Cups energy, and it's like very positive and it's very authentic. And I feel like, I feel like they're going to hear something about it, and they're going to like look your person up or something. And then they're going to be incensed. And I feel like they might try to break it. Like they might try to come back. So I think that's going to be the crossroads where it's like, I just heard, no. Yeah, that's from a song called The Crossroads from Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm pretty sure, just in case that the way that I did that was not decipherable. But yeah, so I feel like they're going to maybe send a message or something, because they want to feel like powerful. They're trying to get this person back. They want them to end things with you and come back with them, so that they feel that they have like control over your person. But it's like a kind of schmegsual control, or it's like, oh, because I'm so attractive, or I'm so this, or I'm so that. They want to be the best. They want to be the favorite in your person's life. And I think or they want to be the favorite over your person, and somehow your person has like escaped that and either just completely neutralized that energy of competition, where it's like they've made it clear where it's like, this is not a competition. You're living your life. I'm living my life. Or this person feels like somehow they're getting more attention than them because people are talking about the two of you being together or something here like that. It's petty. It's really petty, whatever this is. But they want to be like the favorite of your person. But I feel like also your person is somehow their favorite, maybe competitor, or like their favorite person to like play a little game with or something. But I feel like your person is actually going to stand strong in this energy, and they are going to, I feel like they're going to cut free of something here. Because it also feels like whatever that was, it was like having a hold on them. It's like they were trying to make your person think that the only way they would ever be successful is like because of them, or the only way that they would ever like be elevated in life is like because of them. But I feel like your person is cutting away from that. Look, the Lovers. They want their lovers. They want their person. They want a real genuine love. So they have a choice to make. And I think it's coming through because somehow there might be a lot of mirroring here between you and your person. Because in the past, I feel like maybe they manifested something from a corrupted place, from this kind of like plutonic energy that's kind of like split in two, where they're like, on the one hand, I want this, but on the other hand, I want that. And it's like, on the one hand, I want, maybe to be seen a certain way, or I want attention, or I want to be, and that's going to get them in where they maybe did want to compete with this other person, or they wanted to fight with them over like, the chicken nugget, maybe they were sort of doing that. But there's always been, I don't think that they were as bad as whoever that other person was, because that other person knows that they're competitive. They know that, and it's like total in them. But your person, I feel like, was more split, and maybe you were as well, where it's like, well, I did want those things, but do I want actual real love? And I think they were like, well, I do want real love. And so they might have like attracted some type of like secretive person, like a person where there's actually love, but there's also all these weird secret things, or where this person also wants status and is going to, even though they love your person, because there does seem to be love there, they're going to throw it over for some type of status somewhere else because it's corrupted. There was something here that was kind of corrupted. That's where they kind of overlapped. But your person, I think, is going to cut away from that and go towards you, or stay with you, or, something to do with that. because they've risen above it, and they kind of recognize that whoever this person is, I always see this as like, well, not always, but I see it a lot of times as like a big explosion, and it just looks like, Mission Impossible. This person's like flying away because they have like some type of wisdom, but they also have like a lot of adaptability, because owls are super adaptable. Owls will survive anything that happens to this planet. I'm joking, but like they're crazy adaptable. They always have like another thing that they can try to throw at something. And I just heard they might be slow. They might kind of move. Remember, they were coming out as the Knight of Pentacles before. They might be sort of like slow, because I feel like this person is not wanting to make like rash judgments or anything. They genuinely do give people a chance to change, show their true colors. But they have just seen too much here. They've needed to cultivate wisdom to overcome the situation, because again, I feel like they manifested something from this plutonic place where they were kind of split, where they were like, oh, I really want this something here that was really shiny, and I think it represented like materialism or being seen in a certain way or climbing the ladder in a certain way. But they also did want the real deal. They wanted this like deep, intense kind of passionate love. And I feel like they manifested this like hodgepodge of a connection with somebody. And what I mean by it is like, there must be this strong kind of attraction. There must look a certain way together, or like feel like they can climb the ladder with this person, or maybe this person does have a little bit of something here. But And I actually think that there might be love, but this person also might throw your person under the bus for a better opportunity, or, for an extra $100 at the, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's that kind of energy. And so it's not that the love is there or not there. Because I think that's what your person had to learn to get away from this. It's not about love. I think they know that they're loved. I think that they just know that it's kind of corrupted. This reminds me, my mom said to me one time it was after my first breakup with this guy that, I was 18 and I thought that I was going to be with him forever. God bless me. And she was like, he cheated on me, and I was having trouble processing that. And, I was like, I thought he loved me. And my mom said, whoa, like, those are not mutually exclusive. He can love you and still do this to you. You just have to decide whether or not this is the way you want to be loved. And I feel like it's the same with this person. It's not a question of love, because I think for some, this person, shout out to doing a personal reading, you know who you are, where their whole kind of thing that they're chewing on is, well, if there's like love here, I don't necessarily like want to move away from it, but this isn't about that. It's like, well, there is love here, but there's other things here as well. So, that's what you have to decide for yourself. You have to look at the whole package. You have to accept that that's what it is. And then you have to decide what kind of future you want. You have to decide, where you want to go from here, who you want to be. And you have to sort of see that there's an explosion that's being offered here, which I want to say is like, not just one. I'm seeing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tower moments. And 2 of those 5 look somewhat connected together. It's like a lot of tower moments, but it's like kind of there to be seen. And I think this person does see it, but it's like, but we love each other, so that's going to persevere through all things. And I think it's just a mark of maturity where you're like, that's not true. That's not true, because, people who have real problems can love you, and those problems can lead to them hurting you in big ways, ruining the relationship, bankrupting you, like whatever. Like, you have to kind of see. And I feel like that's what this person has sort of learned. But they're being watched. I feel like you're being watched. It feels like from the past, but also potentially like in the future, like surrounding, like in the immediate environment. So there's a lot of evil eye, I think, on this connection, because there's people that want you, there's people that want this person, and there's definitely people that want what they see the two of you have together. And again, I think this is about cultivating wisdom even for those people, because those people have to realize that, if I mix, it's like wanting to be a peanut butter cup. Follow me with this analogy. Okay. So it's like, when you bite into like that peanut butter cup and the peanut butter and the chocolate, and you're like, oh my gosh, yum. Right. But if you're ketchup and you're staring at chocolate making out with caramel, and you're like, I wish that I had that. If chocolate tries to mix with caramel, it's going to taste bad. But what you want is to have that umami, but you got to figure out what goes with ketchup. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just want what somebody else has, but that requires wisdom. And that wisdom requires self-knowledge. You have to know about ketchup and what the difference is between ketchup and chocolate. Because caramel's mixing with chocolate and it's working. It's giving. Okay? It is fucking giving, right? But what is going to give with ketchup? What is that? What's going to bring out that umami? But you have to intimately know what ketchup is. It's a lot of tomato and sugar, from what I understand. But it's like, you have to kind of know that. And so you're not trying to slot into a chocolate spot. But I feel like that's what is kind of, that's the lesson here, where somebody, like the people that are watching, and I just heard that tends to happen around real love, because the people around that are watching it, even if you might feel like, oh, I really want that for myself, wisdom knows that you couldn't have that for yourself between like those two, but it calls you up to like, it raises you up to want to find what works for you. But in order to do that, you'd have to have self-awareness. So it's like this kind of thing that it's like the opposite of like degeneration, where it helps people sort of understand themselves better. It's meant to, like, or that's, I guess, the most positive way that could kind of work out. So is there anything else here about this person? Yeah, this person, like, I feel like they went through something hard. Like, it feels like a betrayal. It feels like a breakup. And I'm hearing the word regeneration. I feel like this person is like really into regeneration. But it's funny because usually I get like Phoenix energy with that, which is like, vroom, like this big fiery bird kind of energy. And you might actually have that. But I feel like with this person, it's more like an earthworm. Is kind of what I'm getting. It's like the regeneration of an earthworm. It's quiet. It's like very kind of like focused. It's like down in the earth. This person really might like, there's like an earthy kind of quality or connection here. And for some of you, you might not realize how earthy you are. Even though I feel like you're the one in the Ace of Pentacles energy where you're kind of like laying down roots or something, you might not realize how earthy you are or that you like being, because I feel like this person's going to help to kind of ground you or tether you. They might, you guys might literally grow a garden together, or I don't know, like, what are men compared to rocks and mountains? That's what I just heard. Oh, wait, what? The rest of that quote is like, believe me, men are either eaten up with arrogance or stupidity. If they are amiable, they have no minds of their own. They're so easily led, or something like that. I feel like this person is going to like flip all of that on its head, because I feel like this is like an amiable person that's not eaten up with arrogance or stupidity, even if you might think that at first, which I don't think you're actually going to think that at all. But they, I think, have a mind of their own, and they're not easily led. Yeah, I feel like this person is amiable, but they are not easily led. And that might actually shock you. That might be like a twist. You might, even if this is a female, like they're amiable, but they are not easily led. That's going to really impress you about this person. That is going to be the fucking cherry on top with this person, where you're going to be like, wow, this person is amiable, but they have a mind of their own, and they are not easily led. That's Aries energy. Okay, anything else? Devil. Yeah, like there might be some type of temptation to go back to somebody who hurt you in the past and ran off, who like stabbed you in the back with 10 swords somehow and like ran away. Ambushed energy. Like, yeah, there's going to be a kind of a choice here, because I'm kind of getting that like somebody from your past or friends or something here is going to shine a light on the fact that you have changed and you have like regenerated and that you've moved on and that you're happy with someone else. And that's their karma. I feel like that's their karma. I feel like somebody here from your past really wants you to go fight with them. Because you're leaving, and then weirdly, I feel like somehow, even if you don't go back to this person, which I don't think that you should, I feel like they're going to leave something behind, and they're going to start their own kind of journey, or they're meant to. But I feel like it might be motivated. Spirit is so funny. I feel like it might be motivated by like, hey, you don't move on from me, I move on from you, like, or like, I'm gonna win. Like, somebody here is like still in quiet competition, but I just feel like this person was so satisfied thinking that they had won. And I feel like you are actually living your own life, and you're gonna meet this person, and then this is gonna be your victory. This is gonna be but it's like a quiet victory. It's not showy offy. You're not trying to like, and I feel like it might even happen away from like something here in the past. Yeah, and Spirit is wanting you to compare and contrast these two. So there could have been somebody from your past that you thought was the end all be all, but really this person was a betrayer and a backstabber, and they hurt you in some way. And you're going to realize that somehow you manifested this person from like some type of split energy, or like it is an intense energy because it's Pluto, but it was like there was some kind of other desire that was moving beneath you, one that was not conscious, mind you. One that was not conscious. And I think it is for status or for, to rise up some way. So again, I don't know if this person, for some of you that might confuse you, because I don't know that this person necessarily had money, but maybe they had the potential, and, and that's what you were kind of like looking for, or something here. Or there was a way that you were going to be like viewed, or you did kind of want to win, but you're breaking free of that. Yeah. But it feels like a really sticky kind of connection, but then you're actually calling in real love. And I'm hearing that song, Most Girls by Pink. Most girls want a man with the mean green. Don't want to dance if he can't be everything that I dream of. A man that understands real love. And that's who you are moving in. But this is so grounded. It's so grounded. A man that understands real love. because it's not necessarily, I'm not saying that you're not going to have passion with this person, but he understands like that love is patient, love is kind, love is grounded, love is not selfish, love is transparent, love is reliable, love is, you can count on this person. And the love seeds can really grow here. And I just want to encourage you to turn over this new leaf, to really go down this road with this person, because you're going to feel that this is a great person and that, really do that. It's going to, I think for some of you, you're going to get what you want, but this is that lower corrupted kind of desire. You're going to get what you want. Your ex is going to be jealous. Your ex is going to want to come back. Your ex is going to want to stunt on this person and show them that they're queen around here, they're king around here, and I think it might be mirrored on their side. And I think if the two of you choose each other, then you can have this. And it'll be better. It's the highest and best path here in this situation. And it will jumpstart these ex people here on their own journey. And you will be free of the cycle of this like lack or feeling lacking, because I think this person's going to show you that you were never the problem. Like I think there is somebody here in your person's life, but also I think this is mirrored in yours, that wanted to make you feel like you were the problem, that you were lacking. And that's why they had to move on or whatever. They were keeping like secrets. It's Pluto energy that's really coming through. But this person's going to show you that you were never the problem. You were never lacking. This person's going to provide you some level of sanctuary, and they're going to let you know that you've been their sanctuary too. And I feel like you're both going to show up for each other. And this is really sweet. I'm seeing people like go to the well and carry water back for one another, like when they're sick. And each one of you, like, and what I mean by that metaphor is like, you have to walk to the well. You have to get well. You have to get the water. And water is like freaking heavy, Like if you're getting any number of it and you've got to like drag it back to your hut or your tent or something, like it's heavy. And so, but you both just do this out of like the love in your heart, this selflessness in your heart, the empathy. You don't have to be told. Both of you are going to have experiences like that with the other person, where you kind of, they see you, they see your need. Oh, what am I hearing? Michael Jackson. Oh, Man in the Mirror. How can I pretend not to see their need or something? It's going to make you realize that your needs were always seen in the past, but you were just like left to F off, and I'm seeing like that 5 of Pentacles, all the snow. There's water here, but this person's like, there's water. Why don't you drink? And it's like, okay, but it needs to be like processed and like, but somebody here is just going to go bring you water, and it's going to be a revelation. So that's what I have for you guys for pile number 1. This is a great person, but there's definitely like, it's rocky at the beginning, and Spirit definitely wanted you to know that. It's rocky at the beginning. There's tons of evil eye on this connection, but you and your person are both in that place of Aries energy where you know who you are, you know what you want. So you have the ability to break free of all of this weird eyeball energy that's kind of on you from your past, but also in your immediate environment. You both have that capability, and I think there's every possibility that you choose to go on the path together, because I think you're just really going to like not just what you see. You're going to like what you see. You're going to like what you hear, and you're going to like what you feel around this person. And I think it's all very comfortable, and it works so well that it's not going to be the way that it was with this other person, where everything felt like really intense and like really like, it's not going to feel like that. It's almost going, you could almost take it for granted. You could almost overlook it. That's how compatible you are with this person. It almost feels like they're an extension of you, but I don't mean that in a codependent way. I just mean like there's so much compatibility here. There's so much like ease, and like those wheels are greased between the two of you. Like it's really nice. This is really, really nice. Okay, so that was pile number 1. So if you are just joining us, you are joining us at a great time, because we just finished pile number 1 and we're getting ready to move on to pile number 3, because I can do whatever I want and I just want to maintain that. Okay, I am not bound by the structures and the expectations of our society. No, I'm kidding. We're moving on to pile number 2, because that's pro-social and we help each other, and we should know that we're reliable and that we can be dependable. And that's what I want to be for you. So we'll move on to pile number 2, which is the Mountain. Thank you for putting up with me. I will move forward and see what I need to be free. Person from the past is offering stagnant water. Yeah, you're going to get that diarrhea that everybody's getting, Not everybody, but I'm joking, and I'm not putting that out there. Toy. Well done. All right. The Chaos Witch indeed. Okay, compassion. Remember I compassioned at the beginning of pile number 1? I was like, I feel like we just need a little compassion. And then it turned out like your person had really been through something, and I think so have you. Okay, I also, while we're talking about compassion, I'm just going to let's have a chat for real. You guys know how like I've been kind of hard on Ariana Grande because she like, you know, like messes with people who are already attached and everything. And I still stand by that. I really, really do not like that. But then I was listening to, I think his name is Casey Simpson or something. He was on Ricky, Dicky, and Dawn, which that was like, I was too old for that. Like I didn't watch that show, but I started watching his channel. I didn't even know who he was. And he was talking about like being a child star, and it really put certain things into perspective. There was one thing that he said where he was like, I knew the character that I was playing better than I knew myself. And I was like being rewarded so heavily for, you know, performing that I like kept doing more and more of that. And it just made me see things in different light. And I felt really bad, you know, like, it's so important to like have compassion and see people's humanity. Not that you can't also hold people accountable, because again, she's a very capable person and like, she should not be doing that, you know, and I hope that she gets the help that she needs. But I want to say that always happens to me where I'm like, like, you know, this person really bothers me for this reason or that reason. And then somehow spirit manages to show me like, we're all just people at the end of the day. And I just think that's a very important perspective. And I don't know why I'm saying this, and maybe this kind of is moving into pile number 2 a little bit, but I just wanted to, because I've said this very publicly, how annoyed and irritated I am and how harmful I think that is. And I just wanted to say that out loud. So, oh my gosh. Also, Ariana's really been through a lot. Doesn't justify her behavior, but it can maybe explain it. Yeah, like, she has been through a lot. But my thing is, too, like, I've been through a lot. And, like, I don't, you know. But I'm also not a perfect person. I don't know. But yes. And all of those things are true, right? Like that yes and kind of energy. So you look at their actions, and then boom, they are human. Exactly. And I do feel like I'm still allowed to have an opinion. And especially because, you know, especially when it comes to things like betrayal kind of energy, a lot of us know what it feels like to be betrayed. And we wish that somebody would have stood up for us. And like, I can get triggered in that way. And I know that you guys already know that about me, because you can see in the readings, like as soon as I catch a whiff of it in here, I'm like, oh no, you know? So anyways, I just wanted to say that I'm still really hot I don't know why. Maybe it's like really hot outside, but I'm also like under this like light. Ugh. I mean, I get hot usually doing these readings, but like, should I turn it down one more? Give me just 1 second and I'm going to be right back. Okay, I just turned it down again. Okay, so let us move to pile number 2, which is the mountain. Also, Mega Mouse says, I'm sorry if you're mad at me for raising hell in your comments with the haters. I'm not mad at that. I mean, I don't know what was going on. Do I need to block somebody? Okay, just let me know, because, well, actually, Jess is here, so. Orca behavior, unintentional, GTFS. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, so I like for us to be able to express ourselves and everything, you know, but there is like a line, but usually you know when the line is being crossed. Like we can all see when the line is being crossed and somebody's like, you know, acting weird. It's like that quote where somebody says they were trying to define pornography for like legal reasons, but there was like this senator, it's very famous because he was like, I can't define it, but you know it when you see it, kind of a thing. Like, that's how I feel with inappropriate behavior. You know it when you see it. Okay. Pile number 2. So who is coming into... Who is the soulmate that is coming into your life? Oh, I like this energy. Because this Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, I feel like this person's going to like maybe make you a solid offer, like pretty much off the bat. So who is this person? Who is this person coming in? Who is this person that is coming in for pile number 2? Who's the soulmate that is coming in? Who is the soulmate that's coming in here for pile number 2, Spirit? What can you tell us about them? Oh, Ooh, the Seven of Wands. Okay, I actually feel like this person has something built for themselves. They might be successful in some kind of way. And I feel like this person is sort of used to gray rocking for like a lot of people, because I feel like a lot of people want a piece of them. This person also might have some type of professional job. I am seeing them wearing white, but then also they have navy here. So maybe they wear white, or white, navy, black is kind of what I'm getting. Maybe they like their neutrals. But yeah, so I feel like this person might have to present themselves a certain way. I am kind of getting that this person has some type of professional job. I don't know if you meet this person at their professional job, but there's just a way that they're used to sort of interacting with people. But it's in order to manage their relationships with other people, like kind of off the bat, because this person doesn't want to cross a line or give people the wrong impression or something here like that. Tasha, thank you so much for the super chat. Just here, the spiritual nuggies, as always, thank you. Yeah, so I feel this person is successful. I feel like they have, and you might not know that at first, because I feel like this is the kind of person that wears like regular jeans and, you know, pair of Reeboks, and like, you know, you might not realize that, especially if you're not meeting this person like in their kind of like arena, because I feel like this person is maybe the caretaker of something, or like they own like a business or something. So if you're not there, then I feel like this person, you might be kind of taken aback by how successful this person is. They're gonna like be wondering how to break the ice with you, because I think they see you kind of like this, like you're really exciting and you are really, they're really drawn into your energy. I think at first this person's not really maybe interested. They think that you're cute and hot. They think that you're like attractive, but I don't think this person's really interested. They don't think about dating you at first. Now that might be because they're really busy. I think this person's like actually really busy, and it's like they're aware of you, but they're not like fully have their focus on you. But I feel like this person's also interested in you, and they like you, and they want to break the ice with you. But I think they think that you're like kind of cool in a way that they're not, or like you're more social in a way that they're not, or you're more comfortable like in that way. So I think this person is kind of less comfortable socially, but I think that they're wanting to kind of like approach you. Okay, let's see. Who is this person? I feel like a lot of people want a piece of your person. But they have to kind of keep people at bay. And I don't necessarily know if it's like an attractive thing. I actually think that this person's more attractive than they realize. They kind of think that people want them for the wrong reasons. And who am I to say that they don't? Because I think that there is kind of a part of that. But I think part of it is this person's like, you're not really attracted to me. Like you just want like access, or you just want what I have or something. And I do think that that's true, but I do think that legitimately people are attracted to this person. But regardless, they're kind of like they're maybe a bit standoffish. And when you meet this person, it might be in a social area, because again, you're coming through in that Page of Wands kind of energy, and you seem to be like, you know, more comfortable like socially, you know. And I don't think that you have as much as this person, but I don't think a lot of people have as much as this person. But so it's almost like this person doesn't know how to break the ice, because they'd have to maybe go into a social group, or like they'd have to go into a social scenario, but that's not their natural environment, because it kind of puts all of the way that they usually interact like on its head, because they like to have their boundaries, and they need to keep a certain facade or something here like that. So tell me more about this person. I actually feel like this person's really well integrated with their inner self and their outer self. This person might like actually meditate, or there's something about their parents that might be somehow their parents. I'm seeing the sun and the moon, and I'm seeing it integrate as one. So maybe this person has like a sun moon conjunction, like a really tight conjunction. But also I'm just getting again their inner self. Like it's kind of like what you see is what you get with this person, but what you're going to see at first is like just this big kind of strong wall, but it's almost, that's not really even their personality. It's definitely necessary. But maybe there's something about their parents where maybe their parents are very similar. Like their parents, I think, were maybe very much on the same page, but it also could be that they had a single parent that had to very much be the mother and the father. But I feel like whoever their single parent was actually very good at that. Like is maybe exceptional. Like if they just had the one parent, I feel like I literally am getting goosebumps, but I feel like exceptional. Like, oof. Yeah, I like their parent. If they have like just a single mom or something, I really, really like their mom. So for some of you, I think that you might be like, I really, really, really like their mom. Like I'm literally getting goosebumps. Yeah. And they really don't want like a karmic attachment. They really don't want people who want them for their status or anything like that. And I do feel this person like has had an experience with somebody like that in the past where they were with somebody who they found to be really attractive, and maybe they even kind of boosted this person a little bit, but they thought that this person didn't want them for those reasons, and so they didn't mind kind of pouring into this person. But then I think they saw that person sort of like change. I've just heard the word weaponize, like maybe weaponize their position, or yeah. But I feel like there was a lot of arguments. So this person's like very calm. And I don't think that they really like a lot of that, like very fiery, like maybe argumentative energy, like up in their home space. But I think that they had that before in the past. But they also were taken aback by it because I think somebody here kind of gave like a bit of a different impression. They thought that this person, is similar to how they feel about you. So they're a little bit on guard, but you're not their ex and they know that. But I think like it kind of started off where they were like, oh, this person's like really interesting or they're really fun or whatever. But then like when the two of them were living together, it was just like an absolute, like, I think they fought a lot. I think they fought a lot. But I think also this person probably hid that because they're trying to present a certain way, but it feels, this is different than like, this person trying to present this way feels like a form of emotional labor to me. It feels like not trying to burden other people, but it feels like that's a part of their job, or they're not supposed to bring their humanness, you know, like it feels like a therapist, you know, isn't supposed to cry in your therapy session about their boyfriend breaking up with them or something, you know, it's like, it feels like that. I really like this person. But you're not going to know much about this person. You're going to have a lot of questions about this person's like actual personality. Let me see if I can't figure out about this person's personality or like more about them. So what else can you tell us about this person, Spirit? Oh, look, the Empress, the Wheel of Fortune. Yo, I feel like this person, they maybe already did this in the past. This person could have been married once before and have a child with somebody. And even if that's the case, like I feel like this person gave their all in that relationship. I think they tried to like really build this person up and their life together. They wanted like whoever they were with to like kind of have the easy life, and they were very protective over like this person, and they didn't want this person to have to stress out over like anything. But it wasn't a heart-based relationship is what they're telling me. That they like to this is a doer kind of person. They might even be a bit of a workaholic, but they like to put their focus on what it is that they're doing. It is a big way that they show love and that they're of service, but they're kind of realizing that this wasn't a heart-centered connection. It wasn't, something about it wasn't fair and it wasn't balanced. But also this person that they were with did not make logical decisions, but they also didn't have logical conversations. So I feel like they kind of always, your person feels like, I'm seeing from the Addams Family, whichever one where Uncle Fester married that lady that wore all the pink, you know, and she was kind of after his money, but he didn't realize that. He thought she was like a gift from God, but they're saying their wedding vows or something, and he's like, I will be your slave, like I will be your eternal slave, you know, and she is like ditto. And so I feel like this person, it's not like that. They don't feel that way, you know, about themselves, but they were like, I'll do anything you want. I'll do anything that you need. They don't really question where it kind of comes from in that person. And, so when this person would say that they needed something or that it should be a certain way, it wasn't rooted in like reality. It was like kind of very like, I think, emotional. But this person got kind of whipped all around by that. And it became this kind of like functioning dysfunction with them. And I don't know, it just kind of kept the ball rolling because of who this person is. Because I feel like this person, maybe they don't trust a lot of people. They know a lot of people want them for the wrong reasons. They kind of try to avoid certain social situations because I think it's not because this person's not a nice person. I think that they're genuinely overwhelmed in social situations. I think they would be anyway. I think this person would be overwhelmed in a social situation just anyway. But I think that they're also very successful at what they do. They're the mountain in some way. If they're not like super successful, but in a way that you probably don't realize, then they're, unless you're in their like actual space, then they hold a lot down. Like this person like holds a lot down. And they do a lot of this emotional labor, but it's like trying not to be a burden, and they help a lot of people. They're of service. Like, it's very masculine. This feels like truly like a healthy, well, not necessarily healthy, because I feel like this person has been kind of walked on and like kind of overwhelmed, but they feel just like genuinely overwhelmed. So all of those things combined meant that the relationship that they were in the past had this kind of like momentum to it. I feel this person was married. Are they still married? The High Priestess. I'm not getting that this person is like a cheater or anything, but they might still be married when they're reaching out to you. There might be a temptation. And I think it's, okay, I'm not getting a bad vibe off of this person. So and not for everybody is this person married. Because for some of you, they just were married in the past. And they have their walls up because they're scared of getting into the same kind of situation with the same kind of person. Because I kind of feel like this person, it's this combination of they don't read people very well. They kind of don't care to. They like to keep to themselves. They like to, I feel like this person likes their job or they like their routine and they like to focus on that. And they know that they bring some level of value in regards of that. And they want that to be appreciated, but they don't want it to be taken advantage of. And so all of that is overwhelming for this person because they kind of don't know how to weed through people. I don't know. It's kind of overwhelming, but I feel like this person feels a connection with you. Like they think that you're this Queen of Cups and they are like this little turtle, but this person is coming through in this like, as the mountain is like the emperor here, like this like really, really strong energy, but they view you as like being this Queen of Cups. Like you're really sweet and they feel like you're warm, you're nurturing. They really like your personality. They really feel like you guys could be successful together. Like in a successful relationship, they feel like you can help them work through their struggles that they have, I think, with communication, with trusting people. And they kind of, they want to offer you their cup. They have genuine love for you. This person does. But are they going to come towards you and still be married? Look, the lovers, there's definitely a choice. There's a temptation. So maybe for some of you, this person is going to meet you and then kind of think about whether or not they're going to get out of this relationship that they're in. But I feel like this person feels that they have like a lot of responsibilities, but it's just the responsibilities. It's not a heart-centered relationship here. They feel like it's this combination of they feel like they don't do so well with people. They know people want them for the wrong reasons and they don't want to get wrapped up in that. But also at the same time, like there's something about this situation that has like a kind of momentum. I'm almost wondering if this person's like on the spectrum or something like that, like where they've been taken advantage of. Like they're really sweet and they don't always understand certain people's like quirks or like mannerisms and they don't know kind of what it means. So but also like there's that responsibility piece where this person like really takes their responsibilities to heart. But I feel like unfortunately in this situation, it's sort of been taken advantage of. Yeah, there's judgment here on this situation. Spirit's calling judgment here. So I feel like this has been hidden. Your person has hidden this. Because again, it's like it's what they want. They want to be seen for how they feel on the inside, which again, this is a person who is successful. They hold down a lot. They are this emperor energy and they want to be seen like that on the outside. But there's something about the partner that they're with makes them feel weak. It's like it's a battle zone is what I'm hearing. It's like an absolute battle zone and it's like beneath them. And like, it's petty. This person tries to control them with their like out of control, like weird stuff. And there is like, this needs to be like outed, but I feel like your person doesn't want to because I feel like they've been really trained. Like for some of you, again, this person has some type of professional situation where they've been trained not to let their personal life like leak out onto other people, but they do want this like passionate new beginning and spirit wants to usher this person in like a positive result. And I feel like that's how they're meeting you. But is this going to be a cheating situation? I just want to know. I just heard, I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. This person's really defeated. They're feeling really, really defeated, but you'd never know. But you wouldn't know. I feel like you maybe wouldn't know if this person was feeling positive and happy, but you also wouldn't know if they were feeling like really, truly down. Not that they have, not that they're like boring or anything. Cause I feel like when you're around them, like, how are they? I feel like maybe they're at a distance. Like, I don't know. Cause like this mountain is like at a distance, but like you can kind of see the mountain or everything exists in the shadow of the mountain. So it could even be that like, again, this person maybe built the gymnasium that you're in and they run that business. I don't know. And so everything is kind of happening in the shadow of them, even though you might not kind of see it, but you might always see this person at a distance. I kind of feel that way, like, because again, they don't really get in with the social scene and they kind of keep themselves a bit separate and that's how they like it. This person likes, I can relate to this. They like nice, crisp, clean boundaries, like in their relationship, because then they know how to sort of navigate things. And if you've been manipulated a lot and if you've been taken advantage of a lot, like if you grew up in a family like that, one of the best things is like for that is just having very clear boundaries and just being like, if somebody's trying to like mix boundaries too much with you, just to be like, I can't see straight when you do that. Like, I have been around so many manipulative people where like I thought that it was okay or it was cool or it was like casual for me to kind of like blend but then I always end up getting taken advantage of. It's overwhelming for me. I can't function like that. Like, I feel pretty confident socially, but it's just like, for me, I can't see you, and I can't see you moving around like that, and I don't know how to be, and I'm not comfortable, so I can't do that, and it has nothing to do with you or any, and so I feel like that's kind of how this person is. So I think you're really confused, actually, maybe about this person. But I don't think you realize this person's into you. You're definitely not going to know. I feel like you probably are not going to know until this person decides to like approach you in some kind of way. And they're thinking about it. They're thinking about how they can break the ice with you. They're also like really tired. And I feel this person's still wrapped up in something here, but they're pissed about like some type of situation here because they're wanting to, I think that maybe they feel like they have to cut away from something that they built. Yeah. They're also feeling in competition here. So I feel like their partner might bring in some type of competition to piss them off, and they want to humiliate them. Their partner wants to humiliate them because they know this partner is aware that they want to appear dignified, and they want to, and not just that they want to appear that way, they've worked very hard to be that way, but unfortunately for this person, they don't read people very well. If they read people very well, then they don't read whatever gender they date. They don't read that gender very well. But I think for some of you, there might be even like, this person's on the spectrum or something like that. And so they don't read social cues very well, just in general. Because I think they thought this person was like really nice or really sweet, or they thought that their social ability would be only an asset to them and never a weapon at their throat kind of a thing. So this person, I think, sort of has to confront their fear of being humiliated, by this partner. Because I think this partner wants to like bring some like a challenger around, I'm hearing like, you're going to get a better opposite guy than me. That's from some kind of movie. Like The Breakup, or maybe it's not The Breakup. I don't remember what it was. But it's like, you're going to date some better opposite guy than me. And I feel like that's kind of what they want to do. And so that they can sort of take up a lot of space in this person's remit. Because it feels like this person worked really hard to build something. But it's like, kind of tied in with their reputation or something. And maybe it's just their family, or it's like their home, or I don't know. Look, there's 3 kings here. We 3 kings of Orient are. So maybe there's like something to do with Christmas, but there could be something here about like a conference going to, because I kind of am seeing that like at a big gymnasium or something here, like, but look, and then the queen at the bottom. The queen is in charge, deciding who is of value and who brings the best chicken for her table, and then kind of cutting them off. This is a person who very much knows what they're doing. Very much knows what they're doing. Yeah. Ugh. So this is a whole ass mess. I don't know that a lot of you are going to be, but this person is nice though, and they have a lot to offer, and who are they? Like, the King of Cups. Now we have all 4 kings. Are you a joke right now? Look at this. We have all 4 kings and the Emperor. There's a lot of all 4 kings and the Emperor. This person, I think, they have all the makings of the Emperor, but they haven't like congealed it together. I think they know this. I think they feel like all they need is to be treated with like a little bit of love, because I feel like their partner is they start shit with them like that, like a shit starter. That's what I'm getting. They are with a person who is like a shit starter, because this person, I think, actually kind of likes a strong personality. But when my husband's, what did he say to me yesterday? We were watching something. He showed me a video, and it was like this really sassy lady. And, but he was like, it's so great. Like when there's somebody, I can't remember what she said exactly, but she was being sassy, but then it was clear that she was sassy. And she was being sassy about having a strong work ethic and really caring about people, like really caring how people were treated. Because it was something like, y'all just come here and you half-ass your routine, but I do my whole routine because I actually care about people and blah, 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 and it's like, it's so great when you have this like, those blend of things. And so I feel like this person actually really likes a strong personality, because like I said, I think what makes this person feel uncomfortable is not knowing what people's motives are. So if you're like blunt, I think some of you, like, you're blunt or you're direct, you're not trying to manipulate, you're not trying to beat around the bush, and yet neither is this person. And I kind of think that they don't have time for it, or they don't have the energy for it, or the skill set for it. This person, I just heard like, ugh, like, what do you want? Like, this person's like trying to figure out what people want from them all the time, because people tend to want things from this person. And so I think if you can just be upfront and like just kind of, like direct, sassy, strong. I think this person kind of needs that social, but then, not be a shit starter. Like, I think this person actually like really likes that. Yeah. yo, like there's a problematic ex in this person's life. For some of you, they're not even an ex. I hate that. I hate that that's like coming through, but I'm also not getting that this person is like your typical cheater. And I don't think that they're trying to cheat with you. I also just think that this person is kind of like, I don't know, trying to start up a conversation. This person's awkward. But I don't think that they come across that way. Like they're awkward. They're trying to kind of figure out who you are before they take this kind of like big risk. But this person needs to be taking this risk anyway. I just feel like this person, they have their focus so much on their career that they want something here to just work in their home life. And I think they thought that going after somebody who was kind of social, they thought that person was going to kind of run their house and run their social life. And they do, but they don't do it in service of this person. They don't do it with this person in mind. They do it to benefit themselves and only themselves. And I think they also like to fuck with your person. Yeah, and there's been no justice in this situation, but Spirit's trying to get this person out of that situation so that there can be justice. Because I feel like whoever they're with is kind of like a shit stain, and like they do need like karma. They do. And like I also think that there's probably other people around this person that's like, I can't wait for you to get your karma. Like it's literally exhausting to be around you. But they're not getting their karma because this guy won't move out of the way. And I do think that he's like powerful and he provides this person a certain amount of shelter. But it's like he doesn't just provide this person some type of shelter. He provides other people some type of shelter as well. But look, they're totally dominated by this person. And it's like, this person has their hooks in them in a lot of ways. They're really proud of it too. They're really proud of what they did. Oh wait, no, I think I can find it. I just flipped that back in there. Like Kali with her tongue out. Like this person's like, like, you know, very much like that. Okay. So, and this person is pissed and they're wising up from this situation. But I feel like this is going to be a messy ending between these two. This is going to be an absolute messy divorce. This is going to be bonkers. Because there's kind of nothing that this person wouldn't do. For some, I feel like this person that they're with has done this before. Like they might have been married before, but they did this before to other people. Even if they weren't married before, I feel like somehow this person knows how to get stuff out of relationships, but it causes this like big blunder when people finally move away. And basically like this person is a karmic lesson for a lot of people. I feel like he's kind of the last one though. I'm hearing he's the last stop. He's the last like major lesson that this person is teaching people, which is like they need to see this person clearly and move away. So your person's gaining in some type of wisdom here. And yeah, they're having to take responsibility for a place in which they lacked. I feel they felt that this partner was a shortcut. That's what it is. Why do I feel like I'm describing my parents? But yeah, so anyways, yeah, I feel like your person felt like this person was a shortcut. But they were trying to like sidestep their lack in some way. And your person might not be very traditional is one thing that I want to say, but they might, again, with all this emperor energy and like they might not actually be very traditional, but for some reason they don't feel like they can just say that. And if this person was, I think they tell themselves that they were a little better socially, that they could maybe pass off their like whatever it is about them that's non-traditional. Maybe they don't want to go to church anymore. Maybe they don't want to get married and have kids. Maybe they want to, you know, maybe they're gay. Maybe they're like, whatever it is that like, that is non-traditional, they kind of feel, this is kind of making me feel sad for this person because it's almost like, well, I would live my non-traditional self if I had a little bit more social skills and I could put it out there in a confident way or a cool way or like, you know, but I can't. And so I'm just gonna, you know, confuse myself or something here and other people. So they feel like they have to kind of take responsibility. I'm hearing from a spell, they're known for the weakness they tried to sidestep. So I feel like this person might be known for the weakness that they tried to sidestep, which tells me that this person may have had some negative intention towards you. I feel like they were intending to be miserly with you in some way when they first meet you, but they want you to be like, they want you to receive this tiny page of cups and be like, oh, wow, but it's not. So I feel like this person was trying to be miserly in regards of their love. Yeah, because they were embarrassed and remember I'm getting like this person doesn't know how to like approach you or how to talk to you, but I'm also getting like this person's confused by your response or something here. And you were kind of feeling like they were juggling you. This person does have a spicy side. Oh my gosh. Tower. Okay, so this person will have you confused because you might like be thinking that you're an option or something here, and they're hiding this like devil energy, and they mean to, because that's one of my spells. And you know, I put spells out here for you. It's never pushed on you. It's always just an offering, and it's always, I do spell like bundles, and like I link a bunch of spells together, and I weave in and out like just high levels of these spells have to align with karmic law, truth, justice. If they don't, then they don't take effect, and they instead they kind of give you information about like this or that. So I'm kind of wondering if that spell landed, which is something like somebody's trying to fuck. That's a spell where it's like somebody's trying to fuck with you, and it just like unearths something about them. Because I feel like this person was maybe this is a third party situation. This person was trying to fuck with you, their soulmate. By partnering, maybe for some they get with somebody, an ex I just heard, or I don't know. They try to hide behind this other person to make you feel like you're lacking, or it gives you the impression, or they're trying to hide their own lack here. I don't know, but it feels like something here is like kind of being unearthed, and you'll know about the weak. There's some type of stipulation here where that you have to know about the weakness that they were trying to sidestep in regards of you. So it's not, this person they did have some type of, they do, I guess, or they have some type of negative intention, but I feel like it's the negative intention to like be a certain way and to be seen a certain way. So they hide behind somebody who's extremely negative. They hide behind a karmic who is extremely negative, and they're kind of subservient to this karmic, whoever it is. Yeah, there's some level of competition maybe that this person like encourages or allows to play out because of their weakness. Because they really shouldn't be attached to this karmic, but they allow, instead of like stepping in. I just get that this karmic causes a lot of havoc, but they couldn't cause near the havoc that they do if they weren't attached to this person. And that's why they're being held to strong karmic standards here, is because this is not just a private matter between these two people. Clearly it's affected you, but I think it affects like other people somehow. And somehow this person has been blocked from getting their karma because your person won't like grow a pair. So I don't know if you're excited about that, but that's a soulmate that's coming towards you. Is somebody who is in a karmic situation. Can I ask Spirit, why is this person in? Okay, so it's so that you can like see clearly and say goodbye. I just heard, you never can say goodbye. No. Yeah, I guess so. You can start, I don't know, you can have like some type of fresh start here, or like, yeah, I feel like whenever you're around this person, you are in this kind of bohemian energy, like a very natural, playful, relaxed, happy, like you are kind of coming alive, you know, which your soulmates do get drawn in. And then this person has this crappy person around you. So it's not safe. So they make the environment that you're kind of frolicking around in and should be able to safely, not safe. They need to go their own way. They need to be independent. I feel like they were supposed to. I think they were supposed to like protect their inner child or something here. And I just feel there's some type of karma that's hitting your person first. The person that they're with definitely deserves a lot of karma and will get it eventually. But for some reason, first, your person has to receive their karma. They have to learn their lessons, which will have them move out of the way. And that kind of leaves this person open to receive their karma from multiple people, because there's multiple people who are just waiting for this person to learn the karmic lesson that played out between the two of them, and to not be advantaged. It feels like your person is advantaged, or your person's person is like always advantaged or propped up or saved, even though they behave so badly. And that's really bothering a lot of souls. And it's not going to be pretty when this person like finally gets their karma. But they're blocked by your person. They're in some type of protected position because of your person. And they sort of resent your person for that. And they're not very nice to your person. So they're manipulative here. And they try to manipulate what the truth is, this other person. So I feel like you're going to have to say goodbye to this person. And that might be why they're moving you in, is because you are genuinely this person's soulmate, and they can see that, or they feel that something here is like, and this is somebody who's kind of scared and they don't really know who safe people are, but they know that it's you. And then you're going to move away, and this person's like, like, you know, they're really going to have to deal with this, because they're trying to get this person away. Yes, because they have their own karmic lessons, but really they're attached to a negative person who has so much karma that is going to just hit them all at once when your person stops making excuses for them, stops protecting them, stops sheltering them, stops trying to hide how crazy they are. Like, you know, that really needs to occur. And that's why they're trying to move this person out. And I feel like for some of you, that's why you're being brought in. But you're also learning from that, because you have to see clearly kind of like what's going on here with this person. Because they do kind of want to punish you a bit for not like wanting to be involved with them because they have somebody else. Like, I don't know, or they're trying to hide this from you, or that they're with this absolute crazy person. Okay, anyways, that's pile number 2. That was pile number 2 of your soulmate that's coming in. Well, let me just ask, while you're looking at this, like, so can you guys be together? Yes. Oh, wow. Yeah, the 10 of Cups. So you could be together if this person like leaves, but look, the 3 of Swords, like they're breaking your heart by staying with like whoever it is that they're staying with, and like they need to see certain things differently about the past, and maybe about, I don't know, maybe about a friend as well. Like there could be a friend around them, but maybe you're their friend. They need to come forward and take the swords out of your heart. That's what they need to do. They need to care about their soulmate, but right now all they care about is their routine and saving face. I'm hearing that part in Mean Girls where she's like, you like Aaron? Oh, well, let me just tell you that he only likes his mom and his school and his friends. And she's like, is that bad? I feel like that's how it is when I'm describing this person, but it is bad because of like what's actually going on there behind the scenes with this person. Get his ass. Sometimes compassion is the exorcism. That was so eloquent and wise. Okay, let me put my gloss on. And will compassion / exercise the demons of pile number 2. I'm joking. All right, compassion. I don't know, bro. This feels like old energy. I don't want to block my own blessings by being petty. I'm tired and I don't want to be on guard with your soulmate or SM. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, maybe it is old energy for you. Maybe pile number 2 is old energy. And I think being on guard and calling it like you see it isn't always the same thing as being petty. But I mean, to each their own. If you feel like that's being petty. But I think that somebody hiding a whole family from you and you calling it out and saying like, absolutely not. I don't know that that's the same thing as being petty. All right. Yeah, soulmate. Okay. So let me just, do I need a little snack or no? No, I don't. I kind of do. But, okay, actually, I'm so sorry. Give me one more break and I'll make this really, really fast. Okay. So fast. Lightning speed. never can say goodbye. No, 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 no. Ooh. Sorry, I just had some turkey and cheese, but they didn't have the provolone that I usually get at Aldi. So I had to get the better provolone from a different grocery store. And I just gotta say, it's so good. Like, I'm just living for it. It's really, really good. And I don't know why I'm telling you that other than like, it was really good. And I just really enjoyed myself. And I just wanted you to know that. Okay. Okay. So let's move to pile number 3, the heart. Treat yourself. Okay. Pile number 3, the heart energy. All right, let's look at this. So for pile number 3, Spirit, who is the soulmate that pile number 3 is pulling in, or who they're going to meet? Who's coming in for pile number 3? Oh, we got the CEO. Powerful and driven. Success shines, but does it warm the hearts? He's got his little black card there that's like shiny in the moonlight. Oh, look, the poker player. Calculated and risky? What? Okay. Why is the billionaire? So there's a lot of money here. Or the potential for a lot of money here. Captivating yet hard to reach. I'm getting that this person might be like successful, but they might take risks with money. They might have like a lot of money to take risks with. What a confusing combination of cards. The poker player, calculated and risky. He plays his cards right, but never shows his hand. Okay. The chef. So this person can also cook for you. Passionate and full of flavor. Okay. Let's just get a different deck, shall we? Let's see. Who is pile number 3's soulmate? Who is pile number 3's soulmate that's coming in? Who is pile number 3's soulmate that's coming in, Spirit? The 4 of Wands. And we've got the 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. What else, Spirit? I feel like this person is energetic. I feel like they're confident. I feel like they're energetic. They might like have parties and stuff like at their house. Who is this person? Who is the soulmate for pile number 3 that's coming in? The Knight of Wands. Huh. But who is the soulmate in this? Okay, so I'm seeing a situation where like I feel like maybe there's a soulmate that's coming in and there's like this party kind of energy where again, like I think they're very social. Maybe they have a lot of people to their house a lot, but there's also a Knight of Wands energy that like kind of comes into this party. And I don't really like this Knight of Wands. And they're like a betrayer. And I feel like they betrayed you in a past life. Maybe even ended you in a past life. And this person is around a kind of soulmate that's very social. And there's something here about like house parties, gatherings. And I feel like they throw them and they go to them. And I feel like this person has like a lot of friends. And this person is like really sad. You know what this is reminding me of? A lot of the past life readings that I've done. For some of you, this is like big soulmate energy. And what I mean is like there is this kind of string of past lives that there's been somebody that like ended you via ambush in like some type of kerfuffle, and there was somebody that was really heartbroken over that, like never got over it like their entire life. And maybe a lot of their like vices and things kind of come from that particular lifetime. They might feel like they're not ready to love and things like that. So and there's like judgment on some type of situation here as well. So Spirit is bringing this together. So there might be a couple of soulmates that you're meeting. One of them might be a friend, like a platonic soulmate. And this person, maybe this is the person that's like very friendly and they like have a lot of friends and they're going to throw a house party, or they throw regular house parties, or they're often like attending it. But I feel like there's a alive and well kind of social group like around this person. And that's one soulmate. But then there also could be this other soulmate that's kind of coming in here. That's really sad and like kind of continually grieving over this like past life situation. But there's another, like, there's a real jerk that's kind of coming in here. And it feels like maybe it's because there's money here. Somebody here could have money. And it's either your friend that has money or it is your person. There's like some money here, but it's like, it's not secure money. If that makes sense, it's like a gamble to get the money. So maybe somebody here, I think somebody here does have like a nice house or something, or like it's, maybe it's not like super nice or anything, but it's nice. Or like somebody here has something. There's like a gambler kind of energy. I don't really like this. Who's the soulmate here, Spirit, that's coming in? Who is the soulmate? Spirit is like, Jessica, you like for us to build a context for you. And then like when we're trying to do that, you get like frustrated and you want to kind of skip ahead. So who is this soulmate? Like Ace of Wands, King of Pentacles. I'm seeing a lot going on here, but I'm not really seeing who is the soulmate. Can you tell us about the soulmate, Spirit? High Priestess? High Priestess? Okay, there is some type of karma playing out in this situation. So I feel like it's maybe a secret who the soulmate is. You might not be able to tell who your soulmate is in this situation because of the dynamics here. Why would that be? It could be because of somebody's personality, like because of people's personalities here. You might not be able to tell who the soulmate is. So this is sort of like they're going to blindfold you and have you kind of reach in and just hope you pull out your soulmate, I guess. I don't know. What's going on here, Spirit? Why is this the case? Because somebody here has moved away from love. And maybe somebody here has moved away from the soulmate, or like this group, or like they've moved away from like a soulmate. They moved away from a group where there's a lot of love and potentially a lot of soulmates here for this person. And I don't know if they've just turned away inside of themselves it's either they turned away from themselves in the prospect of love because they're so sad and they're so hurt and they're so heartbroken. And it might have been over something that seemed small in this lifetime, but it's because it goes back lifetimes. Or somebody here moved away from a group where there's a lot of their soulmates. There's a lot of love here because of the presence of this Knight of Wands that is a betrayer, and that is kind of, I want to say, they betrayed them in a past life. I think they ended them in a past life. Betraying is putting it very nicely. I think they ended them brutally, and maybe pretended to be their friend or something like that. But they kind of like divide people about this person. The presence of this Knight of Wands is a real problem. So it's like people maybe have to go within and like to see how they feel. They have to kind of go within. But the personalities here might really throw people off. And the personality of this Knight of Wands might really throw people off. They might think this Knight of Wands is a nice person or an amiable person or something here like that. The personalities are like going to throw people off here. Who is the soulmate? Queen of Swords. Look, and the Three of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. There's going to be like a whole lot of events that are kind of like unfolding here. The social events, the social dynamics here that are going to be like misattributed is what I'm getting, because there is history here at this party. You know, I'm almost getting like, you know, those murder mystery games, but like the ones that you actually go to, you know, and like have a dinner or something and you're trying to solve the murder mystery. It feels like that, but in real life. It feels like there's this like very active social group. But again, I'm getting like kind of house parties. There might be more than one. And that people's personalities and things, but it feels very Scooby-Doo, like, you know, like pulling the paper bag off of like the villain, you know, kind of, it's difficult to do that because I don't know why. Look, the devil, because of people's motivations maybe in this group, because it feels like there's risk and reward. Yeah, there's money somehow involved, and it doesn't have to be like, we had the billionaire come out, like it doesn't have to be like that. I mean, for some of you, take this however it resonates, but there could be like lots of money here, or just lots of status, or like that. And so it's making people act like a certain way. The soulmates here, I feel like somebody here is like kind of called judgment here, like cut away from somebody here and walked away, or like they called judgment here and then somebody else walked away from them. But this is the dynamic between two people of like, one person is like, I've seen through something, and then like I cut through and I'm cutting loose of this, even though there's a lot of love here. And it's because their soulmate turned away from love, I think, within themselves. Like they kind of were like, I don't want love. And maybe so I'm like gonna party, or I just want to be like by myself. But it's because they're deeply sad. So like something about their personalities are not gonna line up. So it feels like maybe this is a person who's not pursuing love. So maybe they don't seem like they want like commitment or monogamy or something like that. But it's just because they really, really wanted it in the past life with this person. And then they got like ruined by this Knight of Wands person. And it's happening again because like there needs to be healing here. And so it's like there's this kind of confusion here. So it could be that there's a soulmate here that isn't like, again, they turned away from love within themselves, and they're kind of hiding their real self and their real personality, but they're hiding it because they're like sad, or it's like moon energy, but it's like that kind of emotional sad moon energy. And then there's somebody here who's like, no, I'm not going to be treated like that, or you need to approach me with love, or you know, what do you mean you love everyone here in this room? Like, you know, like, no. And like, they're going to cut away. And so this person might not think that this person is their soulmate because they've bossed up and they're like, no, I don't want like a heartless asshole like over here. No. That's the soulmate. But they're going to be acting like this. And they might get up and leave. Like they might be like, no, and then like kind of get up and leave. Or again, like there's somebody here who just turned away from love and they're acting crazy. They're acting like an asshole. And this person's going to be looking at them like, why are you an asshole? You couldn't be my soulmate. But then there's some kind of personality quirk with the karmics that are involved here in this situation. And in particular with this Knight of Wands, who was the problem in the past life, or at least they were the person that did the ending, if that makes sense. So this is like a confusing type of situation, but I think Spirit's done with it. Spirit's like, it's time. We're calling time on this situation. And I think somebody here needs to take responsibility, or they need to go on their own relative to this situation, because they're calling for healing in this situation. And I think somebody here, and I think it's the person who is like turned away from love altogether. And they're like, I'm not going to, because it's like, this person's not acting from a place of love. They're saying that they want to be independent. So it's like, so do it then. Spirit's like, you need to be independent, or you need to take responsibility and like clean up something here, karmically speaking. And the way that they do it is they need to turn a corner in their soul. They need to have a different focus. And that's how they get their soulmate back. But and I think they need to focus maybe on love, but this person's scared. They want to be the emperor so bad, but they're so locked down and they're so like, they're scared to open up, but they, at the same time, they want to move forward really quickly. They might also see somebody moving towards their soulmate really quickly. This is going to cause like a bunch of confusion, but I think it's essentially because I want to say it's the masculine in the situation that is actually really grieving, and it's rooted in this past life and what happened. But he is just he actually wants love so bad, and he wants love with this person, and he wants the family, and he wants there to be sensitivity and vulnerability and like all of that. He wanted it so bad, but it hurts so much that he is like shut down from it, but he's acting a fool. He's acting a fool. I feel like maybe he comes off as flippant, impulsive. That's not his real personality. This is reminding me of that reading that I did where it was something like she calls him her pretend pirate or something like that, where there was a soulmate energy. Her higher self was like at the very least coming through and saying like, that's not really who he is. Why am I around? Why am I trying to do this? Because I know that's not who he really is. This is his traumatized self. This is his wounded self. And we both are traumatized and wounded by the situation. We would like a chance to be left alone. We would like a chance to be loved like to be in love and to be left alone, and for us to be able to heal our wounds like within ourselves. And I do think these are two people that are meant to have a family together, like a very loving, happy, it's a very rewarding experience for them to have a family together. And that's what they want. But it's just so hard to trust, not each other, but I think that they might actually be blaming each other. But there's this like Knight of Wands person or energy that's in, and they're a betrayer. My ear is kind of like, I don't know, there's nothing really happening to it, but I'm just like, there's something about like ear energy, something that's like, yeah, like I heard this, I heard that, like it's very confusing. This is a hard situation to clean up karmically because of how shut down this masculine is in particular, like around his heart space. I actually feel this was maybe a spiritual attack in that lifetime against this masculine, because I feel like his heart is like his biggest asset. It's like rare to see a masculine energy who has this much like heart energy, this much like love, and can bring that into the world, because it does take a kind of courage to be vulnerable and to be emotional and, you know, to have like that beating heart energy flow through everything that you're doing. And I think that's his mission. I think that's what he's meant to do in the world. And I think that was a spiritual attack in that life, and I think it really fucked him up. Like I think it really, like he just shut down, and he's like armored. Oh, I also just heard that song Battlefield by Jordan Sparks. It's like, you better go and get your armor. So I feel like these two feel like they're fighting each other, but it's like, I don't even know why we're fighting for. They really don't have a problem with each other. The problem is that they couldn't be together in that life, and that might be the problem in this life, is that they couldn't be together. But it's like, why are you making it to where we can't be together? You know, they both, I think, have that feeling. You're going to have that feeling with this person, because it's like, why are you turning away from love? Why do you have like a little bit of love for all of your friends? Now you have romantic love for all your friends because you're so fucked, like, you know, because of what happened. Like, get unfucked quick. Like, you know, it's like that, you know, and he feels like sad, and he's hiding his real self because he just wants the one. He just wants the soulmate. But then he's also mad because he's like, well, you cut me off, like, you know, and there's no reasoning with you. And it's like, because I'm accepting you and I'm accepting love only. I'm not accepting you in your harem of fucking like weird, no boundary friend group, like situation. You know, I'm not doing that, you know, and everybody's smiling in my face. Like it's hell. Okay. Like this is like, I feel like I'm in a room full of demons, like just everything's climbing out the walls. Like, no. Okay. Like it's traumatizing. Something here about this is like re-traumatizing. It's actually, I think for the feminine energy, because I think she died. I think she got ended. Well, maybe he did. And somebody here was ended, if not both of these people in a past life. So I think it's new for her to see like this like new fuckboy persona. That wasn't the man that she left on the physical plane. And so this would, I don't think, re-traumatize her so much as freshly and newly traumatize her, because this is not the same man that she was dealing with. This is a whole fresh, new, right in the moment of trauma, which explains this, okay? Explains this. Where he's more, I've already been traumatized. My heart is calloused over, which is why I behave badly. I'm used to this, because it feels to me like he spent the rest of his life in that lifetime being a drunk, being, you know, addicted to certain things, like just numbing out, like just trying to numb out, because he went with his heart space energy and it got like kind of cut down. And so he's just being like maybe re-traumatized. He's also kind of like frustrated, but it's very much like, you know, sometimes I think about like Beast from Beauty and the Beast at that end scene where Gaston is like hunting after like the beast, and he's just like sad and giving up. He's not even fighting, like, you know, and he's just like so sad. And he's like, "Rrr, rrr," you know, and he's just like making those sad, like whimpery kind of like growl sounds, but he doesn't care. Like he's depressed. He's sad. He doesn't feel like he's ever going to get like love or anything. For some, he might even have the trappings of a prince. Like maybe he's born into wealth, or I don't know. Cause it just feels like he's numbing out. I think both sides, I want to say, would agree to that. Like the positive side of the forces that run the earth here, and also the negative side, because the negative side's like put him in Prince, because he's not this like weird fuckboy thing, but it's like pervert him, twist him, give him temptation, give him access. And that way he's going to hurt his soulmate so bad that she won't have anything to do with him. But the positive side is like, this is a person who deserves these princely trappings, you know, and potentially his heart's going to come back online, and we're going to have somebody in a position that could really be the mountain, or like, you know, something here like that, and that's worth it for us. And so I think you've got this like really weird kind of scenario kind of playing out. This could involve work for some of you. Spirit is going to step in to bring this together, but Spirit will also step in to pull the cord if it's not going well. Because Spirit wants these two people to get together. Spirit, these two deserve a chance at love. These two deserve a chance at a family. They deserve a chance at like a home together. This is like, things might actually be really, this like wouldn't surprise me if you feel this person's your twin flame or something, because it's just going to click right in. It's like, if he can love, he's not going to traumatize her. And so for this hasn't happened yet, right? So it's like, for some of you, there's a potential that he doesn't traumatize you, but it's very small. But you know, how can you get around this? I don't know. Why would they bring it together if he's like turned away from this love energy? It's like they know that he wants it so bad, but it's like, I just feel Spirit will bring this together, and then Spirit's going to also yank the cord on this, because before any like real permanent damage is done here, because Spirit does want to bring this together. Both of these people, like I said, they deserve it. They deserve a chance to be together. But this might not be the person that you like fully end up with in this lifetime, because there's so much hurt here. Such a defensive position. What's the advice like for meeting this person? What the heck? I think it's saying like be the Queen of Wands. Okay, like treat this as like a fresh new beginning. So I think they might even cloak certain like aspects of this. I don't know. But you might just, I don't know, feel drawn. They want this to be like a fresh new beginning. They want you guys to like kind of be able to start fresh, but be confident, be yourself, be like fully yourself, you know? But if there is like a third party that's here, then kind of, they're saying close your eyes to it, go within, balance yourself out, and deal with like your internal like subconscious and everything. They'll end it. I think Spirit's like, we'll pull you apart kind of a thing. There is somebody else that you can potentially be with. There's a whole thing that's kind of playing out here. And I feel like if he sees you kind of, again, go within and kind of balance things out, he's going to feel a type of way about that. He might even feel like you're manipulating. Look, he's confused about this Hierophant energy. I think that he's confused about maybe marriage and maybe tradition, but I also feel like about like conformity. He's confused. He's really confused, but it's because he's actually presented with like his Empress energy here. So they'll bring you in, I think, at a time when you're feeling confident, when you've made strides in yourself as to like being able to kind of balance yourself out, and to where you can know that this isn't about you. Like his behavior is not about you. Also, for some of you, you're going to be able to see the hurt in this person if you know to look for it. So you're getting this reading, right? Before like this happens. So if you know to look for it, I feel in this masculine energy, you're going to see that kind of like wounded, but I don't think it's apparent necessarily to everybody else, but it just feels sort of depressed, like kind of chronically or classically like depressed. And he needs to come up out of that and start fighting like the beast did. And that's what they're drawing him out. They're trying to, he has something he needs to fix with like in regards of just being the emperor, taking charge of his space. But I don't know, he's in a routine. He's kind of sad. This guy is kind of sad, but I don't think he comes off that way when you meet him. Maybe he either comes off like he's this very social person that always has house parties, like is always having gatherings and things, or he's always going off to like gatherings and things. I think he comes across as like very energetic or very confident or something here like that, very social. But then, so maybe, how does this Knight of Wands come across? Page of Cups, very sweet, maybe friendly. Look, King of Pentacles, but like maybe they're going to come across like, oh, it's just like kind of sweet. But then like, boom, I'm a King of Pentacles. They might kind of come across that way, and they might weirdly try to make you an offer. Even though like you have love for this other person. And you kind of know that, and you want, but if he's going to turn away from love, then it's going to leave you somewhat confused and like vulnerable. This is weird. This is a weird one. It's like playing Clue. That's what it seems like. It's like it's important to be able to see, but you know what else this reminds me of? It just reminds me of like, I don't know. I'm not necessarily seeing one movie, but it's just like, when things kind of like really kick up and there's this like kind of sandstorm and everybody's kind of like fighting, through the sandstorm and like winning. But then this one thing happens. Take Frozen, for example. Like the end scene where there's all that snow that's like whipping and whirling around. And then like she reaches Anna and then like everything all of a sudden like kind of dies down. It's like that one thing and then all of a sudden it stops like whipping around. I feel like that's what's going on here. But I feel like it's coming from his heart. It's coming from his heart, and it makes everything, because it's his way of pushing love away. But this is like on a subconscious thing where it brings up all this drama and all this like the I'm also seeing from the Marvel movies, like the raccoon and the when they're all trying to hold each other's hands so they can hold the Infinity Stone, all of them, but there's like everything's kind of whipping around and they have to kind of fight to like get to each other and hold each other's hands. It's like that, but I feel like it's coming from this man. He was flipped is kind of what I get in a past life. This is a good person that's like brings goodness into this world, that's meant to be stable and like a foundation, and is this sort of like presence, but because his heart was wounded so badly, it's instead of providing that shelter, this is the mountain. And because I keep saying that, maybe this is, I'm not getting the same personality though with pile number 2. Because pile number 2 was like stoic, stayed back, was a little, this is like a very socially, they're going to come across very confident and very social, but they still did the same thing with that mountain energy, this kind of protector energy. But now this is the mountain, you don't go up there, because it's so treacherous. Like this is the mountain people tell stories about, the Donner Party eating each other. And like, like this is kind of like, where it's like, all of a sudden you get like really lost and confused and like your ass ends up over there and your head ends up over there. And, like it's very much like that. It's kind of like the Bermuda Triangle. It's a scrambler, but it's his way of pushing everybody and everything away from himself, including this soulmate here. But he's going to recognize the soulmate on some level. Some level he's going to know. Oh, that's the candle. I was like, what is that sound? Oh, maybe like that. It's like, what is that sound? Like, I don't know. It's like, what is that? And then he's going to kind of dial in and he's not going to like what he sees going on around, but he's also not going to take responsibility for the fact that he's put certain things into motion. He's behaved a certain way, which is anti-love. He's turned away from love. He's, and that has caused all this whipping around, and you're just doing your best to try not to blow away and have your ass end up in that tree and your face end up over there. Like, you're doing your best, but you're going in for him. Like you're trying. And I don't know that he's going to be able to see that. So I'm not sure that this is going to come together in this lifetime, but it's important that the two of you anchor and meet. At the very least, and that you have an experience with each other. It is somehow going to catch his attention here, but I feel like you're the Queen of Pentacles. He's going to see that you're stable. He's going to see that you're kind of calm, because I think he feels like everything just always goes bad. It's not a possibility to be like stable or something here because of the Knight of Wands. He's blaming you for the Knight of Wands. He's blaming you for the effect. It's like, well, my person always gets taken away. And it's like, why don't you man the fuck up and go deal with that Knight of Wands? Maybe that's your mission, sir. And I don't mean in any kind of like criminal way. I just mean like my husband and I had this conversation the other day too. It was really interesting because he was talking about like people, like men in particular. Oh, because we were talking about that book that I was reading here and I was saying all this stuff about the ants and everything. And he was like, people misunderstand the energy of getting put in your place. And he's like, I think that a lot more people need to be put in their place, men in particular. And I was like, but that's going to get this like incel kind of thing, don't you think? And he was like, no. Like, the reason we have all these like people that do like these messed up things, in particular men, is because they were not put in their place, or their abuser was not put in their place before they like, and being put in your place is kind of like, it's more effective too when it's like the group. That it's like, yeah, it might come from a particular man, but that has the backing of the group, and the group of men insists on there being sanity and truth and honesty. And so if you're not going to fall in line with that, you get put in your place, and that's much different than just being picked on or just being bullied. But if you step out of line, you do need to know that there is a person there or a force there. It should be in a healthy society. He was saying like it would be more than one man or even more than one woman. There'd be more than one person in the group that felt that the group was sane enough that they could challenge, they could come out and they could say, this is wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. We're not going to do that. And not be expected to fight that person necessarily one-on-one, but being willing to if they needed to, but also just knowing that there was enough sane people that they would also come out and be like, no. So he was talking about that, like put in their place kind of energy. I feel like this is the guy to put that Knight of Wands in his place. I kind of feel like his ass is his if he wants it, kind of thing, because of what was done in the past life. I feel like karmically speaking, and he doesn't, he's the beast, right? He can easily take everybody in that room, but he's just not doing it because he doesn't want to. He's depressed. He feels like it never works out anyways, or like, I'm just like, whatever. And it's like, in your whatever energy, you might as well make some good happen for some people, you know? Like, because the Knight of Wands is not a good person for anyone. I feel like multiple people, this is like a Regina George, but it feels like a masculine. It feels like a masculine Regina George. But there's a way that they come across, you know? And they want, this Knight of Wands kind of reminds me of Mr. Elton from Emma, where, you know, he's the clergy. Jane Austen does not like the clergy. She always paints their characters to be like just a very, you know, interesting kind of way. But with him, he wants Emma because it's going to change his fortune, right? And so he comes across like in a way that he's not. And Emma ends up saying to Mr. Knightley, who tried to warn her about him, you know, says that there was a littleness to him that you discovered and I did not. And anyways, they complement each other. But, you know, it's because Mr. Knightley says, you know, well, from the way he behaves when there are only men present. So he was able to see different parts of men in general, but also, you know, and she's not able to. So I do feel that there's just a way that this person is used to getting away with presenting themselves, that the opposite gender or that, you know, certain people in the social group just are not used to knowing how to work around, you know. But this is very much, there's a social dynamic. There's an order that's been disrupted here, a social order in this particular social group that's been disrupted here. And because of it, there's a lot of bad stuff that happens and confusing stuff too. And that's what I feel like you're dealing with. And that's part of the karma that is going on. And I also just heard, do not underestimate the value and the power and the potency of a strong man that is a good man, because it'll have the effect that's needed here. It's just, I feel like you need one strong, good man that is also, again, the beast was this like kind of princely energy, had the castle and everything. So maybe it's like positioned well or something, but then it makes everybody else kind of want to fall in line maybe behind him. Like it's an opportunity for other people to say, to actually stand up and assert themselves too, you know, or something like that. But it feels like there's a bigger karma that's going on. It's definitely his karma. It's the soulmate, you know, it's these two soulmates karmas that are going on, but there's karmas going on here in the group, and like this upturning of a social dynamic here of this Knight of Wands, the group not being able to get rid of this Knight of Wands, or again, to confidently put him in his place. Everybody, you know? Yeah. This is the game of Clue. It's like whodunit. It's like, you know, Mrs. Peacock in the dining room with the rope. Like it's, you know, it's, oh, that kind of made me think of like somebody hurting themselves. So it even could be that somebody is like blamed for hurting themselves, you know, in this situation, instead of actually somebody here hurt them or like set certain things into motion to hurt them from like behind the scenes. There's a real like, and I think that might maybe even be something that's said here. This is just something to kind of watch out for. Like if somebody says something like, yeah, well, she just did that herself. That was her personality, you know? It feels so projection-y. It feels like, you know, I tried to warn you about, like, she just must be this way or she just must be that way. No. Somebody put something into motion like behind the scenes, and I feel like they wanted to hurt this masculine soulmate. They're jealous of like, they're actually jealous of his King of Pentacles nature, or like his position that he's stable, and that he does, that somebody here does not want, for some reason, why is this so personal? It's like somebody here does not want these soulmates to get together. They especially don't want this masculine making an offer to this feminine. But why do they care? Oh, because maybe this happened to them. Somewhere this happened to them. I feel like somebody that they like loved or something, like got married or loved somebody else. Or maybe this is a person who was like having an affair or wanted to have an affair. So now this person's where they shouldn't be, causing like a ruckus over here. They take some type of sick sadistic pleasure in blocking people's love. But in particular, it's this King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles kind of thing. Because there's a marriage here between There was a truth that was revealed to this person too. How did that... You know what's weird is I feel like this person didn't understand somebody that they were in a relation. I think they were having an affair. Okay. I don't know if this is in this lifetime or in the previous lifetime. Okay. But it's so personal because I feel like they were having an affair with somebody behind the scenes. And if this was in a previous lifetime, then I guess they didn't necessarily have to be married, but it just could be like, maybe these are two people from different classes or something, but then somebody had to like marry somebody else or like whatever. I don't know. But somebody here was, they didn't understand that person. And then that person got married to somebody who I think has traits like this King of Pentacles, or maybe it was like this soulmate here, or maybe it was this soulmate in a past life, because it's somebody who is social. It's somebody who is happy. It's somebody who is, and I think they were trying to change their fate or change their fortune by sleeping with this person behind the scenes. But I think they also didn't understand that person that they were sleeping with that ended up marrying somebody like this masculine that they're attacking, who seems to be like, again, social, confident, a lot of friends. Because that person's manipulative. Whoever the feminine is that this Knight of Wands was sleeping with was manipulative. And insecure and putting on a show, putting on some type of an illusion. Because she wanted to be this Queen of Pentacles. And that hurts him too much to see that she's kind of the bad guy or she's the villain. So he's kind of going after somebody. Because it must be that there was somebody here that was like rising in their career. Like, I don't know if this is in this lifetime or if this is in a previous lifetime. Or both. But so there was somebody here that he was sleeping with. It was secret. Whether or not she was married or was trying to be married to somebody of a higher status than him. She blamed it on like her father or something like that. She blames it on some type of like external circumstance. So he can't see her clearly. And he's not really wanting to question her so much, because that would mean that he has to come face to face with the reality of how she feels about him. But he just wants to be able, he has a bunch of like emotions around this that are negative, that feel negative. And he wants to put it somewhere. And so he wants to put it on this, whoever it is that she married, either in this lifetime or in the other lifetime. It's not a love match between the two of them, but I feel like it looks exciting and it looks like very social. And it has something to do with the guy that she married. And he must have a lot of friends, or again, it's just, or he's doing really well in his career, so they have people over or something here like that. And so he wants to attack him. And so I think he's moved elsewhere and then like takes pleasure in like breaking up like marriages or something like that, trying to ruin that happiness. But he does it with this like kind of seemingly happy personality. So he's wounded. So everybody in the situation is wounded, and it's just creating this like whirlwind whiplash of social environment. There's a lot going on in this social environment. I wouldn't say that every social environment is this way, but this one is a rare bird. And so he gets in this like Knight of Wands kind of energy. Where's he supposed to be? I'm just so curious now. I'm curious about this guy. He's defensive. He wants to argue like with this King of Wands or King of Wands. That was, maybe he's like, it is King of Wands because it's attractive, it's social, it's like, but it's also like can do, like entrepreneurial in some way. So he wants to have an argument with this guy. He's acting out a different situation. He wants to act out this different situation with this particular King of Pentacles / King of Wands, because he's actually safe and he feels like he can actually win, when really he needs to go back to the situation that he feels actually hurt by. And he needs to have it out with his lady that he's sleeping with, because she's the one. And that's the higher cup. Spirit's trying to offer him the higher cup, but I think he needs to realize some type of truth, and he needs to see things differently here. That she's kind of, he needs to have a stronger like inner strength or something here. So this is something that makes him, he just sits and watches somebody here who is in like like from what he can see, like happy marriage situation, and it like breaks his heart, and he wants to hurt them. So instead he's going out and hurting people that have nothing to, innocence, like people who have nothing to do with this situation. He's sneaking around. Yeah. This is weird. This is so weird. It's the men here that kind of have problems with their heart. You know, they say that misery likes company, but then also it's like, because this person, this Knight of Wands here, who is the problem in this social group, the original problem, he attacked, I think in a past life, this King of Wands. He attacked him in the heart because he felt attacked in the heart. And he was like, there, how's it feel kind of thing, you know? He made this man the enemy. He made this person the bad guy. You know what this reminds me of? Oh, this is kind of eerie, but like in America, there's this thing called the smiley face people that end other people. The word that starts with a K. There's also a band. There's a band called The Killers, you know? And I don't know if they like caught these people because this was like back in the day, but they were targeting a particular kind of man that was like out at bars, out having fun, but it was kind of like, he was always like attractive and social and like successful. But then he would be found in like a river or something. And there would always be something kind of put in his drink, like to incapacitate them. Because it was definitely the type of guy where could hold his own and was always very well loved. But there's clearly somebody that was going around, or they wondered if it was multiple people because it was like everywhere. It's this kind of energy. It's this kind of energy. I'm not saying that we've discovered something here. I'm just saying like it's that kind of energy. It's this incel kind of attacking. But I feel like this guy is hurt. Like I'm not making excuse. And by the way, I'm using that as an example of the energy. I'm not saying that this is kind of what's gone on. I think in the past life there was a death involved. This is some type of trauma. This is what happens when you don't teach men how to deal with their emotions. So in a way, it becomes a kind of social karma as well. Because you got toxic boy moms that are raising these little boys to be their boyfriends and not actually teaching them. They're going to be the most dangerous thing on this planet. When you have a young human male, that will be the most dangerous thing on this planet. They get very big and they get very strong. Even the ones that look skinny, they are very strong and they have an immense amount of social power. And it's not okay to not do that for your society, to not raise him, to raise a little pet or to raise a little toy or something. That is incredibly wrong. And it has serious consequences. And maybe because I'm saying that, that's what happened. He might have like some type of toxic boy mom here. Because there's like this weird blend of like, it's fire and gasoline in this person. It's a toxic like entitlement, but it feels like it does come from a feminine side and not from a masculine side. I don't know if there's an issue with the dad figure because it does feel like he's been missing out on this like man figure that will put him in his place kind of a thing. And instead likes to attack men. And I feel like this guy is kind of moving away from a place where he loves. He just sort of, maybe in shame, in some type of shame. But I feel like they could have even been friends before. Like even in the past life. There could even be like a group of people around him. Like he's a ringleader or something. 2 other people. There is some type of woman here who cut away from them. I think to become independent. This is weird because you've got a woman here that's protective in a motherly way, actually. Maybe in the group that maybe has passed some type of judgment on them. And then, but I feel like she went independent and maybe is going to become prominent in her career. And whoever that woman is, and I don't know if it's the soulmate, it could be. I mean, we got the Empress at the bottom of the deck. She's got a motherly energy. But this is a kind of mother that wouldn't be a toxic boy mom. This is the kind of mother that's going to see somebody acting a fool and actually correct and guide and teach and mold and not laugh it off or pretend like she's his girlfriend or something or interact like she's a friend. She will be his mother and actual get like and be worthy of the weight of that and the wisdom of that and like but there's some type of quick decisive like something here. There's a person like that. She's the Empress. So maybe it is a soulmate or maybe it's another woman, like an older woman. I'm kind of getting like an older woman or maybe this is, I don't know. But there is somebody here who's, it brings, it's going to cause, I'm seeing like an arrow. I'm seeing like Cupid. I'm seeing this, something that she's going to, I'm seeing spirit shoot this arrow into the middle of this group, and it's going to kick up some type of dust. So it's going to give new variables and a different perspective, which is going to help these people kind of along. But there's a question here about traditionality. There's a maybe of the Knight of Wands, maybe of whoever this woman is that's saying it. But there's like this some type of question of like, I thought you were traditional. I thought you were this or that. There's something here the fuck wrong with these people. I feel it should be a man that calls out this Knight of Wands at this party or in this group. If this is, for somebody, this is a social group that's very much alive, but there's going to be a woman that calls him out. And I think that's as good as they can do. But I really think it should be a man. And I actually think it should be a group of men. I think it should be 3 men who call out this Knight of Wands. But I think that, this group isn't totally hopeless though, because I think there's a woman who, because she has a strong motherly spirit of, it's nurturing towards the group. It comes from a place of real love towards the group, of saying like, somebody should have really called your ass out. And it should be somebody who can look you directly in the eye. Cause I'm seeing her look up at his throat or something like that. You know, like it should be someone who can make eye contact with you or look down on you like this. That's the person who should be having this conversation. Since they're unavailable, you are not getting a pass. Like you're still not getting a pass. I'm going to call this out, and I'm doing it from a motherly place. It seems like she's an easier target. It seems like she's a much easier target than these men would be in this social dynamic, and like just the power that goes on. It's going to, and I think it maybe even calls into question, like, aren't you supposed to be playing some type of traditional gender role? And it's like, aren't these men supposed to be playing some type of traditional gender role? Where are the ball sacks? Like, why are they right here? Like, you know, it's just, you know, don't come at me for not being traditional, because me remaining traditional means a lot of people are being abused and displaced, and like there should be some masculine energy. But I feel that there's this actual strong feminine energy that's coming in, and it just feels like it's the mother energetically. It is the mother energy that's coming out and saying somebody should have really put you in your place a minute ago. You should have really been placed in a timeout. You should have had a consequence. You know, someone should have held you to a standard. And it should have been your dad first, and then it should have been these men in this group. But it's not happening, so you are still going to get addressed, though, because I'm not going to sit and watch it occur, is what it feels like. And that's Mercury working here in this situation. I'm hearing another spell of mine, gods and goddesses of communication, of healing, love, adjudication. Come and heal us, help us out, help us navigate fears and doubts. And that's what I'm giving. I'm getting Mercury's coming in. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps and saying, like, you know, Mercury is also the way that you process information. So I feel like it's shaking up the way that people are kind of processing information. It might have even been important that this woman step in, this like older woman, because of the way that people are processing information. Or they're going to show. I even think that something here was like, if these men had stood up versus this woman, how would this information have been processed differently? And I think that is meant to reveal something about somebody here. Look, the Emperor. Also, it might be like, I'm kind of hearing a drum beat. It's supposed to be calling out the men on an energetic level. It's supposed to be calling. It's like, why is this woman who is 5'2" fighting battles? What the fuck? What the fuck? All your brawn is motherfucking wasted on you, bitch. And now everybody is suffering. Like, you know, it's wake up. Like, it's not about you. There's something here where it's not about you. Like your masculinity or your position, or like, I just felt like something just unlocked here. I almost feel like I was released from a karmic contract just then. But like, where I needed to like deliver that message to someone. But it feels like I will release you. Be a man in this situation like you're meant to be. Like live up to it. Not little boy psychology. Live up to it, and you break through some type of like karma here. But it just, I feel like something here just like clicked in, because I think something that some of these men are supposed to be learning is that it's not about you. We're all on the internet. We all hear all this red pill content. Masculinity is supposedly all about the singular man. Everything's supposed to serve you. And like, it's not about you. I also feel like that's kind of why this guy is depressed, this soulmate. It's not about you. You're supposed to be of service. That then clicks you over from some type of karma. Oh, remember I just said it felt like I was released from karma, but it feels like releasing out of navigating based on karma. Like, oh, I don't want to accrue karma, and actually flipping over towards dharma. Like actually asking, how can I be of service to the world? Yeah, justice. There needs to be justice brought in this situation. I'm hearing love thaws again from like, and spirit like needs to be able to be brought back into this situation, because this Knight of Wands has really released some type of havoc. going after a Queen of Wands, because there's somebody here who I feel like is a soulmate, but he's just viewing her as the Queen of Wands. It's reductive. He's like reducing this down. And he might also have a way of speaking, and it's affecting this group. And it's because you don't have men here taking their proper place. And I actually think it's more than one. I think it's 3. I think you've got more than one man in this group. I think it's a group of 3 men that are supposed to sort of, each one of them sort of has a pillar. They have a charge. They have something that they're supposed to kind of carry together. But it would take one of them to be brave. Weirdly, I don't think that anybody will stand up for this woman. Because of how decrepit the society is that is around. So, yeah. There's a lot of thinking energy here. I don't know. This is a weird scenario. So like I said, you might not end up with this person, but there are so many karmas at play in this group or at this party. Because for some of you, it's a group, like I said, that's very active socially. And so there's going to be multiple parties and group gatherings and things. For others, there's this party that you're going to get invited to. And it's like by this very social person. It could be a man or a woman. For some of you, I think maybe you have a very social friend. Like there's a platonic soulmate, and it might be a woman that like invites you here. But then there's all kind of people that are around, including this Knight of Wands. And then something here is like maybe going to play out. But there might be a woman at that party that is calling out some type of bad behavior. She's very respectable, but I think that they can attack her because she's not traditional, or she's not playing into some type of traditional role. The truth is that she's not traditional. The truth is that you have men who are not traditional, that are not doing something that they're supposed to be doing. And to allow it to play out is immoral. And you've got somebody here who is like, it really should. This woman knows very well that it really should be somebody who has a different position socially than she does, calling this out. But I don't think she is okay with watching this Knight of Wands or not calling him out or not alert. People should be aware. It's her thing. It's kind of reminding me of the Me Too movement. It just feels like this woman feels like, no, people should be aware of this. I can't believe this person's just snaking around in our social group. Like, I really should have been made aware of this. It feels like the men might be aware. It feels like the men might be aware. But he has like a type of personality where he plays it off like, it feels like the men might be aware. And I think that there are certain men that actually don't agree with this, but they feel like it's their job not to call him out. And so I think you're going to have women that have to start their own like little version of like a Me Too kind of thing. I've been treated this way by this person. I've been treated because these men are not protecting their social group. I don't know. Okay. It's too easy to trigger people nowadays, and it's a shame. Yeah. This is reminding me of Doctor Strange being humbled by the Ancient One, a woman. She tells him he has failed the most important lesson. It's not about you. Yeah, that's so true. Playing Clue, but both men are bad options. Yeah, there's going to be like a defensive nature here to this as well. Because they're all trying to defend their like place. I feel like weirdly they're trying to maintain their like, I'm above it. Oh, that's like this or that. But it's not. It's really not okay what's going on. It's really not okay. I think they don't want to get involved. I think there's certain people who don't want to get involved. They want to like, but I think it's really their job to get involved. Karmically speaking, I think it is actually their job to get involved. I think there are people that are getting hurt here. And I think that it doesn't need to be the case. Yeah, this is reminding me, one time my husband and I were on the way back. I think it was like we visited our families for the first time. We were almost home. We had driven like 20 hours or something. And we were an hour out. And there was some weird stuff happening on the road. But this is pitch black. This is like 3 o'clock in the morning. And our car is all loaded down because like we visited our families and like we got some things like from home and everything. And there's 3 cars that are like on the side of the road with their hazards on and a cop car behind them. And we just thought that it was like an accident or something. And then all of a sudden we go over this like gigantic pothole and it pops our tire. And then we're another car on the side of the road. And my husband, like the last thing that he wanted to do was change a tire at 3 a.m. after we'd been driving for 20 hours. And like, but we were so close to home. Anyway, the cop comes over and is like, can I help you change this tire? My husband's like, I got it, but do you want to go block off that pothole so we don't? There was another person actually that ended up hitting it after us. So there's just like a line of people that hit this pothole because like the step 1 should have been like blocking off the pothole and like, with your car, with your lights on or with some cones or something here like that. But like instead, she's just going from car to car asking people if they want her to change their tire. My husband's like, I'm going to change the tire, but like, can you please block off this hole? It feels like that here in this kind of situation. But what if the abuser is mad at me type shit? And this is what I'm saying too. Men are afraid of other men. And they're afraid of the social repercussions of other men because we don't have a culture, at least in America. I don't know about other places. We don't really have a culture where men will have each other's backs when they actually have to do something. They'll have each other's backs when it's like, we should not get involved, but they'll try to pretend like that's the higher thing. Like, we don't really know what's going on here in that situation. And it's like, maybe the people who are 6 foot tall should be the ones finding out. Maybe it shouldn't be the person who's 5'2" and has tits and is a target and doesn't have as much social power and makes 77 cents on the dollar. Maybe that's not appropriate. But I don't know. It just feels like they're like, that's not my business and it's not my problem kind of a thing, But I feel like that's part of what's happening. You got a lot of people who continue to get like injured by this 9 of Wands, karmically speaking. And it's because he needs to get put in his place. And really, it should have been his dad, is what I'm getting. Like, it didn't start there, but the buck's got to stop somewhere. So I think there is karmas here of men not standing up and saying something needs to be done here. And one of us is going to call it out. And the other ones have to say, yeah, what are you doing? They don't do that really because they tend to be scared of other men, and then they're scared that they aren't gonna all stand up for what's right because they know that they're not supposed to stand up for what's right. So they just allow for this like bad behavior, and that's why we have the world that we do, or it's like a part of why we have the world that we do, because we have psychopaths gathering at the top, holding all the power, and then men are kind of the culture of men in America, at least right now, is very sycophantic. It's very like pandering to that kind of like energy, and you either turn a blind eye. Well, I'm not one of it. I distinguish myself from it. Anyways, this kind of got hard on men at the end, but not all men. It got hard on men who do know better, men who are kind of like good, but it's also rooted in kind of other things. This message was kind of needed. Yeah, because like there's some type of like functioning dysfunction, just moving away from the trouble and keeping certain people in the dark here. It's not okay. Okay, so it's there just always seems to be one pile where I feel like I really just have to double down of like, there's a way to be and there's a way not to be. Like there's certain things where it's like there's a line that needs to be crossed, and you should not just sit by quietly while people are being harmed and they don't need to be harmed, Okay. I hate like having to like, really, if you guys ever met me in real life, I am maybe I'm like these men kind of where I'm like, I'd rather just like mind my own business. I don't like, but there is like a line for me. There is. Anyway, sycophantic, it means they suck up. They kind of pander. They want the crumbs, they're like, please pick me to be, but those are the kind of people that are antisocial and they take advantage of all of us. And even if you can get up close to them, they'll just humiliate you. It's like the fat, it's like, I don't know. I'm about to say a lot. Maybe there's not a single alpha male in the entire world if we have people like Andrew Tate walking around, hasn't been punched on camera in the mouth once. Like, it's just, there's a lack of masculinity because there's a conflation of masculinity with psychopathy. And that masculinity isn't heart-centered, that it's not loving, that it's not protective, that it's instead territorial and self-centered. And like there's this kind of like conflation. So this must be playing out in like the group in pile number 3, or at least the men in the group. There's some type of like, I think there's a question about the culture here, because I think that man ran off in the past life, or he ended something here, and so it displaced this man in a past life. Now we're kind of getting really deep into that, but there is something to do with the social dynamics that have cropped up here. It is, and sometimes in readings I've seen Simba that ran away from Pride Rock and has to kind of come back, and I just feel like there's that energy, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it's just one man. It feels like there's people here that need to remember who you are. They need to remember that, like, I'm noble. I don't actually want to sit here and laugh at hearing you having taken advantage of other people. I don't actually find that funny, yeah. Never thought I'd see the day where the underworld pile had the best soulmate, and yet here we are. I'm bringing my girl Vanessa and our guy Jake. Just love you, girl. Nice. Yes, not all men. I agree. And it's really not all men, but it's, this song, it's called Not All Men. I can't remember her name. St. John, Morgan St. Jane, or Jean. And, it's like, it's not all men, but it's all women. it's not all men, but how come all women like have some type of story where they've been taken advantage of? Like, so it's a significant number of them. And I kind of wonder if it's around 30%, because there was that study, and it was done with college kids, but there was like 33% of males said that if they could grape somebody and get away with it, that they would. And then I don't know, like when you look out in society, it hovers around that like 30 to 35% where you're just like, what is going on with these people? I don't know. Okay. So I'm sorry about pile number 3. There's always something here where I feel like I just really get into this like strong voice energy. And I feel like it just builds up in me because we live in a world where nobody does stand up to it. I mean, people do, but it does tend to be like sporadic here and there. And then the hammer really gets brought down on those people and we see it and it's just sad. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking about it. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. So let us do a general message, shall we? Oh, let us do a general message. Give me pile number 1. I'm done with pile number 3. Thanks, Jess. Yeah. Why do I feel like you're going to meet pile number 3 in this life? Just because I think that you kind of need to meet, and it's going to set certain things in motion. But I don't think a lot of you are going to end up with pile number 3. Okay. So anyways, Spirit, new energy here, new energy, please, if at all possible. What general message do you have for us? I wish I could take back my words. That might be my energy because like, I have such strong opinions, but maybe that's how this person feels too. Look, I regret lying to you. Okay. So actually this isn't my energy. This is somebody else. This is, somebody regrets lying to you and they said something here. They wish they could take back their words. Look, I don't react when people mention you. I think this person said something that they didn't mean. And it might even be like that they said something to other people. I feel like it made you feel like they didn't love you or that you weren't important. Yeah, we need to let each other go. I feel like that was the lie. They gave you the impression that you needed to let each other go. Look, finding out the truth crushed me. I left you before you could leave me. So I feel like they found out some type of truth and they moved away. I feel like this person was feeling emotional and they were feeling crushed, but instead like this person, they wish that they could take back their words and something that they either said to you or about you, like to other people, to give the impression that they didn't care about you and that they felt like you guys needed to let each other go and that they felt like you guys needed to move in different directions. This person is really, really, they're really feeling this. I left when I saw you with someone. That's coming out. Okay, so, let's see. What message? What do you have for us, Spirit? Okay, so there's clearly a person coming through here that wants to come through. And this person is saying that they're different now, that they have spent some time alone, that they are like really reflecting in order to gain some type of clarity around a group of people, some type of, there's a lot of confusion. And so they've spent some time alone and they kind of feel like maybe you saw them, with the 3 of Cups here. So maybe you saw them partying or like with like a bunch of people, but maybe you also saw them kind of pull back or like go alone. I don't know. Maybe this person said something to you that they shouldn't have said and then they left. It was like, okay, we're not meant for each other. And then like they left. And now this person kind of wants to come back and they feel like you're really guarded and like kind of very fiery or very angry, but they know that you're like sad and that you're hurt. Beneath that. Yeah, I just heard the truth is that I'm just so sorry and I wish I could take back my words. Okay, is there anything else that this person wants to say? Who is this person that's coming through? You clearly had a fight with this person. You know what? It's so funny. I grabbed the same deck that I used for pile number 1 and I kind of didn't want to, but I kept being drawn to it. And I was like, okay, I clearly am drawn to this deck. And then the 3 of Wands came out, which I'm very much associating, or maybe was this pile number 1 or was this pile number 2? I kind of feel like this is a pile number 1 person. Like, but they feel like they gave you a different impression. Okay, so for some of you, this person, like, they were really, like, maybe harsh with you, or they were very cut and dry, and, like, cut away. For others of you, I think they just left, like, in a kind of scared sort of way, because I'm getting that, like, deer, like, fleeing kind of thing. And now there's, like, some type of karma here in this situation, but you've kind of ended this situation yet, and you've started over here. Why is this coming through? It is notable to me that this person's coming through in a soulmate reading. Pile number 3, person pretended to forget my name in front of his group. Wow. They're thinking about what to say, this person. They want to be gentler with you, is kind of what I'm getting. They want to be softer. They want to have, like, more space here. Page of Cups. Yeah, I think this person is saying that they had a choice. I think this is kind of tied into pile number 3 and everything that I just said, because I think that this person is kind of realizing that they had a choice, that they kind of realized that there was somebody here that was pretending to be a different way than they were, and that they should have stood up to that person. And I don't know, like, they wish they could take back their words. So I don't know if they fueled that person. I don't know if but they feel like they should have called that out, that person, or they should have, like, fought that person, like, not necessarily physically, but, like, they should have definitely had words with that person. And but instead they made a choice to go back to, like, an ex, or just to move on, like, by themselves. But maybe they, like, hooked up with a friend, or I don't know. And they have a lot of love for you. This person is saying they have a lot of love for you. I'm really hearing, like, I'm not letting go. This person's like, I'm not giving up on us. I'm not letting go. I have so much love for you. I was drawn off into, like, the depths by some level of temptation, but I feel like the temptation for a lot of you is just avoidance, you know, trying to avoid. But I'm seeing, like, water, but I'm seeing salt water. This person feels like they were bathing in their own tears. But I feel like it had to do with, like, not great behaviors and things like that. But for some of you, there's something to do with water, and it could be, like, again, that they were drunk or something like that, because I'm hearing, like, you know, you drink like a fish or something like that. But they're saying, like, I'm not giving up on this. They know you're mad. This person knows that you're mad. I think that they're trying to bring more water energy than your fire energy, you know, to kind of put out the fire, because I think this person is kind of realizing that it's a facade, not necessarily a facade. Like, I feel like you mean business here, but they recognize that you're holding a type of boundary because you don't want to be hurt again. And probably that you are hurt behind whatever is going on, but that you don't want this person to kind of see that, because you don't want your vulnerabilities to be exploited or anything like that. This person's realizing also that potentially they left you to defend yourself by yourself, and that you're used to kind of fighting, like, on your own. And so that means you have to bring 10 times the ammo that you usually would have. This person seems to, like, sit and reflect on you, and, like, maybe something that you said. I think maybe also this person's like, I think this person was kind of thinking that they wish that you felt remorse for something that you said, like a word that you said, or some type of words, but they realized that they hurt you, or they betrayed you, or something, or that they took the devil's cup in some kind of way, and that they deserved. I mean, he's crying over words. Like, he's like, you shouldn't have said that. Ouch. Like, that hurt my feelings. You know, it's like, and I feel like there's real consequences to, like, this person, you know, for you. It's not just words that occurred for you. Like, you know, I don't know. So why is this coming through? I kind of feel like it's just sort of fizzled out maybe, but this person feels responsible for a tower moment. Like, it looked like things were going really well between the two of you, that you guys were really getting along. Look, there is this, like, shark energy that's following this person. 10 of Pentacles. Maybe this was, like, to do with their family. There's the 2 of Wands. I kind of feel like this person They've just been doing a lot of thinking. I don't know. I think this person would like for you to see them differently than the way that you have seen them in the past. They know that they have given you the wrong impression, though. They understand. I feel like this person has kind of put on their empathy glasses and they've seen themselves from your perspective and they've looked at their actions, not knowing what's behind it, because obviously we all know what's behind our actions. It's like, well, I know that I did this because I was hurt or I was this or I was that, and this person has kind of stepped out of their shoes finally and they've fully stepped into yours. And I think they understand what you were saying or what you were getting at or why you did what you did. Yeah, they were kind of in like a defensive position. Yeah, I feel like this person wasn't in the best situation whenever they did that, because I feel like they kind of chased wanting status, or I feel like they even could have been in another relationship whenever they were thinking about you and processing these things. They wanted something so much. They wanted to win, or they wanted, and so they were like feeling very defensive. But I feel like this person just, there's some kind of engine in this person that was motivating them to like win or succeed or to look a certain way. But it comes from like a very hurt kind of place. And this person didn't want to deal with those things, but now they're saying that they're dealing with those things and that they want to bring out, I don't even think this person's fully there yet, but I think this person's like, I want to bring out like this Leo energy. I want to like bring out this kind of positive energy. So, but I think this person's with someone. I think it looks a certain way. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Okay. I wondered why it slowed up, and it slowed up because this person was like very hesitant. Like, should I or shouldn't I say this? This person is kind of realizing they're owning up to this. It's not easy for them, but they're realizing that they wanted you to see, like, come back and see them successful and like with this other person. And they wanted you to actually be in the energy that they were in, which in this deck, it was the Pluto energy. I already put it back in the deck somewhere, but he's like all defensive and cold and like, yeah, feeling like small, like everything was like, happening and exciting over there. But like, he wanted you to feel left out in the cold, defensive. Notice how like the posture is like covering the solar plexus, all prickly and like just kind of looking like that's what I could have had, or that's what I could have this, or that's what I could have that, But instead, I feel like this person found themselves in that energy when it comes to you. And it brought out everything that they were trying to stuff down, all the emotions that they were trying to outrun via building this kind of situation and this image. I just heard the word brand, like this kind of brand for themselves. It brought out like that was the inner, like their motivation for being this. It's not a love. Their motivation for being with this person is not a love situation. It's not a heart-centered situation. They built this entire relationship with a person and possibly a business or a status or something here based on wanting you to be jealous, like wanting, because maybe they felt they wanted you to feel like they were the prize and that you really missed out, and that aren't you jealous of the life that they're living with this other person? That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. They're like, I'm not proud of it. Like, I'm just seeing them kind of look down to the side. I feel like this person probably cuts a different image, like in front of people. Like they cut a very different image, but I feel like they're kind of letting me see behind the curtain, and they're just kind of like looking down into the side. Like, I just heard I married the wrong one. Like, I'm a fool. Like, I married a fool. Like, this could have been a fast wedding even, or like, but it was just somebody that they kind of thought or knew would make you jealous, or that they suspected. I don't know if you guys have seen this person or not recently, or who is this person? This is sun energies, maybe a sun dominant kind of person. This is explaining a lot. Yeah. They're saying like they could have just talked to you, but I think for some of you, this person was like upset that they were a choice for you. They felt like they were a choice and they wanted to like just dominate. I don't know if you felt that way. Like, they felt like they were in some type of competition. I don't know. But this person like very much could have used their words and like did not, is kind of what I'm getting. I think they were looking at something from a distance and they got like very angry. I heard somebody the other day, they were explaining projection and how like the way that people project on you, it's kind of like subconsciously intended to make you feel the way that they actually feel about themselves. They try to kind of ricochet that experience. And so them wanting you to be the one standing on the outside in the cold, blocking off your solar plexus chakra, getting all prickly. That's how they felt, I think, when they were looking at you, because they thought that they were an option for you. But it was Gemini energy. So I'm getting that you were talking to somebody, or talking to like a friend or something here like that. It got them like all in their head, and they really could have used their words, and instead they were wanting to ricochet that feeling. So if you were in a position, or if you are in a position like this in the future, then, because maybe this is higher self energy that's coming through, then I feel like this person that's how they felt. Like they wanted you to feel the way that they felt. And they weren't actually dealing with their emotions. They didn't actually talk things through with you, because they didn't know. They were shocked when they saw something here. They felt like, I think this person was feeling really sexy in regards of you. Like they were really attracted to you, but they also felt really attractive in regards of you. Like they thought that you guys were kind of flirting, and I feel like you were, but then I feel like I don't know, it's Gemini energy. Okay, so speaking as a Gemini, I've learned this in astrology, and I can verify this. Geminis, when they like a person, we tend to have a lot of friends, and sometimes it can be like, I don't know, intimidating to speak like one-on-one with somebody that you really like. So a lot of times if a Gemini likes you, they'll talk to everybody in the room besides you. So I don't know if there was something here like that, where you were just like, or maybe you were working your way up to it, like you had to kind of, but you were talking to all the people that like you kind of felt comfortable talking to, because there isn't any like sexual spark or anything like that. And this person took that a certain way, because there's not a lot of color in this Gemini card. I'm just getting that they saw something that was totally like innocuous, and then they made it like an entire thing, and then they wanted you to feel the way but they could have used their words. I don't know. Okay. I think I'm gonna leave that there. I'm seeing a lot of people saying that they're really disappointed in the reading in the comment section. I'm sorry, you guys. I can't really control like what's coming through, and we're all living the lives that we're living, through karma and consequence and, all of that. And I don't think that all the piles sounded too bad. I think it was pile number 1, right? Like it sounded, pretty good. Pile number 2, it sounded really good as well. And it could just be this is the time in your life where, you could end up with pile number 2, and the pile number 2 person really wasn't that bad. They're definitely in a situation, and it's not ideal for you. And then, yeah, pile 3 is very confusing. And like I said, I'm not sure that a lot of you are going to end up with a pile number 3 person. I feel like it's just important that you meet this person, because it's going to set certain things in motion, because spirit does want to heal the pile number 3. It's really, really strong soulmates, but there's a lot of karma, and spirit wants to heal it, but it can't be healed. I think for a lot of you, it's not going to be like this one and done kind of thing. So for some of you, like you're going to meet this person, it's probably going to confuse you. It might set you on like a kind of trajectory, and then you're going to meet maybe one of the other piles, like, or a different soulmate. Or, this is just a snapshot right now. So like it could be that, things change in a couple of months or something as the energy kind of shifts. But I enjoyed the reading. Okay, good. Very pragmatic view on soulmates. That's the thing, is like, I really don't want to be the kind of tarot reader that is like, and you get a soulmate, and because at the end of the day, I'm not making these decisions. I'm not gatekeeping your soulmates over here. And, like this is between you and your guides and spirit and your karmas and, other people that are kind of like involved in everything that everybody's got going on. It's a very complicated equation, I'm like really sure. But I don't ever want to lie to people, because it makes you feel better or makes you feel comfortable. Like if I'm seeing something in the cards, I feel like it's my just bare minimum responsibility to kind of say it. I don't know why things are coming through, but I just feel like that's the thing that I'm supposed to do. I don't know these people. I've never met these people, and I'm not living their lives, and I'm not living your life. And I have very little control over these situations. And I have learned as a reader that I try not to get in my head so much about people are really not feeling the reading, or they wish they had a different soulmate, or, coming in at this point or something like that, because then I start to resist the reading, and that's never good, because then I start to get really confused. And not pile number 2 was bad. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Well, yeah. And feel free, obviously, like have whatever emotions that you need to have and like kind of work through. And maybe that's part of why these soulmates are coming up, is to help you process and have these kind of like certain emotions. I'm not sure. I like the reading. It feels realistic. Okay, good. Yeah. So, okay. But that's what I have for you guys. And, I wonder if there's, oh, look, okay. I just asked Spirit, I'm like, well, what do you have to say about that? And we have the Magician. So Spirit is saying like these soulmates are coming in because you're ready to confront certain things. For some of you, even though certain people are soulmates, you're going to cut them off. Like the pile number 2 person and the pile number 3 person, especially. I kind of can't remember the specifics about pile number 1, but I'm pretty sure that it was more positive. It was. I'm pretty sure it was. But yeah, so, but also I feel like this is maybe about manifesting, and each one of these soulmates is going to help you kind of fine tune what it is that you want and what it is that you don't want and what it is that you're manifesting. But manifestation, a lot of it comes from our subconscious. So it could be that meeting each of these people, because it's one thing to hear me tell you about it in the reading. That's what Spirit is saying. It's one thing to hear me tell you about it in the reading. It is another thing entirely to actually meet and be confronted with these people's energy. It's going to be a much more visceral experience. And that's what life is about, is having these like very visceral experiences and kind of like looking in the mirror. And it's going to really bring up something emotional. I just heard, we'll be there for you. Have fun. And I just heard, we'll be there for you to help you process it on the other end. But life is experiential. Life is this kind of, roller coaster of an experience. There's ups, there's downs, there's twists, there's turns. And all of it is meant to kind of help us evolve and become like our best version of yourself. And all of this is in alignment with your highest and greatest good. I just heard as promised, as requested, as you asked for. So they're also trying to remind you that this is like you're in a process. I'm seeing like the Pac-Man, where like they eats like the little balls, so like, yeah, you meet these different soulmates. It brings out these kind of like experiences in you, and some of them, and I feel like you can see it in me, but also, I mean, I am tapped into energy here. So not all of it. I definitely have a personality on me. I know that I do. Okay. I got a lot of fire in my chart, but I'm a deeply emotional person. And so those kinds of things, you're going to know if I don't like the person. Okay. I've tried to hold it in, but like some of these people, I just find like their behavior to be so like out of the box, like, and it does make me mad that, nobody would have told them, but like, so you're definitely going to know if like how I feel, but also I feel like I'm tapped into energy, and this might be the kind of thing, like maybe I'm showing you, some of you, like maybe it is uncomfortable for you to be like, what an asshole, because we're all socialized a certain way. But if you can see it in me, maybe this is your shadow. Maybe this is like the thing, maybe this is the kind of thing that it's going to bring up in you, and it's going to be very, very like strong or something here like that. Maybe that's the thing that's being processed. But I feel like essentially this has to do with manifestation and actually being able to call in your soulmate, or getting around certain blockages of like the heart and what actually is going to be fulfilling for you. Because I think there's might be something here to do with these soulmates too, where it's like, they are soulmates, like on some type of level, but there could be something about them where you're like, even on a superficial level, where you're like, well, I think I want a person like this, or I want a person like that. You call in the soulmate, and they've, got a lot of other baggage that you weren't necessarily anticipating, because one thing you'll learn if you study psychology is that traits tend to cluster together. So there might be certain traits that you find attractive, or that you think you find attractive, but you don't fully understand them completely. And like for instance, for pile number 2, success. Okay, because pile number 2, I think that person's very successful in a certain way, maybe a certain way that you kind of like, but the way in which, but that comes with that, kind of maybe having to be more walled off and not being able to read, people. And, it might come with things that you didn't quite consider before, but you were manifesting it in because it sounded good to you. You're like, well, I would love to have somebody who is, successful. But then, people really have gone after that person, and, they were scooped up and not by the greatest of people. I don't know, but it's like, I think it's kind of helping to fine tune what it is that you're like looking for. Oh, okay. Pile 3 was a damn portal to the light through hell for us who already lived it. Okay, that's so great. Okay, so for some of you, maybe some of this stuff already happened. And also we got the sun here. So that's another thing. Spirit said some of these people were calling in messages to understand what the hell they just been through with the pile number 3 thing. Because I just feel for some of you, I kind of wonder if a lot of people are going to be drawn into pile number 3, even if you're drawn into another pile, because I think you have to meet that soulmate in pile number 3 in this lifetime. I don't know that you're going to end up with that person. I think that there's so much, but I think that they're really, it's just such a longing of both of your hearts to heal that situation. And it's attached to so much karma that I feel like at the very least, you're going to have to meet that pile number 3 person. And Spirit is, maybe for some of you, it is like this kind of shining a light on that, so that you can get to this like wish fulfillment, so that you can process certain things, so that you can let certain things go, so that that certain things are not like your fault, or whatever. But yeah, Spirit saying people are calling in all different kinds of messages for all different kinds of reasons, and that it is going to click and resonate for the people. And it's Oh, and but for some, I do think that maybe the messages, like if it's really not something that you like or is resonating, I think that there might be like drawing a line in the sand where maybe this isn't the place for you. Maybe there is like this some type of tower. Maybe for some of you there is like a kind of not actually processing through. Either these messages are supposed to be landing, you're supposed to be gaining something, it would be seen as valuable, and you're maybe not doing that. That's for some, but for others, I think maybe this isn't exactly the place, but hearing these messages, there's somewhere else that you feel called to be, not necessarily in terms of tarot, but that would mean taking some level of like responsibility or like kind of turning around in some way. For some people are stuck in their manifestations because spirit is telling them that there's something here that they need to clean up. There's something here they need to take responsibility. It's going to be hard and they have to walk uphill and they have to carry certain things in order to kind of close out this cycle, but they're not doing that. Oh, okay. I get it. So for some of you, there's people here that are further along. See, there's so many people in the comments that are saying that they've lived pile number 3 already. For some of you, it's like you're supposed to draw the line in the sand with somebody here because of like what's going on here, but you haven't done it. So you haven't like fully closed that door. I'm literally getting goosebumps. So you haven't like closed that door where it's like, where you're kind of seeing, because remember in pile number 3, there was like some type of fight that happened. But for some of you, maybe you've been tolerating some type of mistreatment, but this guy is like still blocked off at the heart, or this lady is still like really mad or something like that. But maybe somehow that wasn't to do with like him not being in tune with like love, like just being anti-love in terms of like his entire persona. But like, yeah, so there needs to, I feel like spirit is saying for some of you, like we've been calling upon you to do it, to take some type of action, but that means so that you can actually start over. And that's blocking like a manifestation of this kind of new love sort of energy. So for some, maybe you're stuck in this situation, but that's why maybe you meet somebody who is like, who a soulmate, who has this like married kind of thing, because you're still working through your karmas or whatever. But like, I don't know, it could be something here like that. Yeah. For others, there's somebody here. Maybe you're the person who you were trying to stunt out on somebody here, but you're still in that relationship, because it looks a certain way. Well, it's blocked off at the heart. So, there's not another soulmate coming in until a certain situation is kind of cleaned up and dealt with. Okay. So that's what I have. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, that happened too. In my life, I'm a teacher and a guide and a mentor. Go find something safe to do, but I hope he starts meeting his shadow in a consensual way so that he can grow. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I have for you guys. I get a little bit wordy whenever I feel like uncomfortable about the readings, but I just wanted to tap in just to make sure that I'm like reading the cards correctly and that I'm picking up on the right energies, because sometimes I doubt myself whenever, but anyways, okay. So it sounds like it's resonating and I hope that was helpful, and I will see you guys when I see you. We do have a Patreon. Wait, do we have a Patreon tomorrow? We have a Patreon tomorrow, and I don't know what it is, but we do have one, and we do have one. And I'm the ballsy mom figure. Good. I like that energy. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this here. Sorry for being awkward, and I apologize for anything that I said, especially at the end of pile number 3 when I got like all heated and angry. Okay, hope you still love me. Thanks for being here, and bye.